50 different video games are on this controller. How much did I spend? $13 to get 50 video games and this soundtrack. I guarantee you've never seen these video games before. Very reminiscent of the games you would have played or likely did play on the NES, as I did when I was growing up back in... So now I can play wonderful games such as Rabbit Village, Fish Story, Death Bomb, Cannonade, Power Robot, Mirror Devil World, Police Dog, Dune War, Water Pipes, Aquarium, Final Blood. That sounds violent. Guessing that it's not going to be extremely violent. I mean, this...
Hello! Yes. Today is Saturday, and Sunday comes afterwards. Just in case any of you don't know how that works, though I'm sure you're smarter than that. Yes, I'm back. Oh, sorry. Apologies. I'll try not to let that happen again. But yes, I'm back. And unfortunately, I have some sad news. It was mentioned on the JP Discord last night that, but I say last night, it was earlier this week. But basically that this week marks the passing of Jeff Follin, the man who did many great soundtracks for many games which, let's be honest, usually the soundtrack was the best part. Games including Spot, the video game for Game Boy, which you just heard a second of there, which I have streamed in this series before, as in the Game Boy filler series, what this is a follow-up to. As well as Tom and Jerry Best of the Best, and the Ultraverse Prime theme song for Mega CD, which I think he actually does the vocals on that as well. Yes, passed away from pancreatic cancer, I believe. We will miss him. He will never be forgotten on this stream, because without him, we wouldn't have those soundtracks. And they are some of the best video game soundtracks of all time. He was also the inspiration for Tim Follin getting into doing video game soundtracks in the first place. So without Jeff, there would be no Tim. We need to acknowledge this sad moment in video game history. Unfortunately, this cartridge that I have plugged into my GameCube does not have Spot on it. I did check earlier, and yeah, this cartridge is an arse for not having that game, because that game's actually pretty good. But yes. Actually, it was Tim who broke the news to the world. Hell, it was actually reported on the news, or certainly online at least. And, yeah. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Tim and Mike and the rest of the Follin family. Hopefully, yeah. Well, anyway. Now that we've got that in mind, let's get on with the stream proper. Also, incidentally, if anyone oh, what's it doing? Let me guess. Is the battery on the GameCube dead? No, I do not care. No, apparently the battery on my GameCube is dead as well. Great. So I'm going to have to take this thing apart and try to fix that as well. Okay, so on with the show. So, yes, the Matchless 23-in-1, I began playing this last week and got part way through it. So we took a look at such classics as 007 James Bond, Dracula 3, Donkey Kong 4, and Felix the Cat. In fact, we actually beat these two games. So, quite interesting stuff. So, where did these games end up on the list? Well, the answer to that is... Oh, hold on. Yes, the answer to that... Well, Castlevania Legends didn't do so well. That's Dracula 3, the Japanese version of it, but basically the same game. Well, it ranked below Castlevania The Adventure, so that should tell you what I think of that. Super Donkey Kong 3, not Donkey Kong 4, because they got the name wrong. Well, actually did a lot better than I expected it to, considering the developer of the game. It's kind of astonishing it's not at the bottom of the list, but, credit where it's due, that game is surprisingly kind of playable. Of course, the James Bond game ended up in the middle of the list somewhere. Somewhere in this dead zone in the middle. I mean, it's better than Barrage Fighter Deluxe, so, can't be too upset with that. And Felix the Cat, number 26, it's pretty good. Spoiled. Well, pretend you didn't see that. In fact, you didn't see it. I've got the normalizer from Men in Black. I'm holding it right here. You can't see it. It's an invisible one. It's extra expensive. But if we take a look at the top of the list, so we had a new game break into the top 10 last time. Good old RoboCop for the Game Boy with one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. After Spot the video game, of course. And, this top 9 is left unchanged. Bubble Ghost is Impervious. You can't beat Bubble Ghost. Bubble Ghost has a bubble, it has a ghost, and it has one of the best soundtracks on the Game Boy. And these other 10 games are actually really solid too. I mean, the Flintstones game was a real surprise. That's a game that I expected nothing from and actually got a lot, let's say. And if we go to the bottom of the list, well, there was a bit of change down here. So in the bottom 10, we have that shit Porta Palamedes, the interesting but barely playable Amida, the surprisingly playable but still not very good Super Donkey Kong 3, BS's Escape from Gab Deadly, which, well, it's about par for the course for Imagineering, let's be honest. The anti-game Monster Truck, a game that makes you think you're going to play something cool, and then it turns out the Monster Truck stops completely if it touches anything that isn't invisible. Trump Boy, which is just 3 card games, none of them done very well. Raijino, which is a shit fighting game. NFL Football, which is the most boring football game I can think of. Or Hand Egg, if you prefer. Pre-Pre, which may as well be short for Prickly Privates, because that's about as appealing as the game is. And Taz-Mania Story, a game that I struggle to think of anything good to say about it. So that's the level that we're currently at with this list. But, we do have 116 games. So, in the middle of this list, so with 116 games in mind, so that the middle of this list is punctuated with good old Barrage Fighter Deluxe and Cheeky Cheeky Tengoku, which sounds about right to me. 2 fairly average games, I think. You can have some fun with them, but they're certainly not going to rank amongst the best that you'll ever see. But what about Snoopy 2? Because I haven't done these other games yet. There's a lot of 2s on offer for today. But let's take a look at Snoopy 2. Oh, I forgot to change the colours, but, we'll deal with it for this one. I mean, it is Snoopy 2. Yes, from 1996. So this is not Snoopy's Magic Show, which is a game that I did look at on a previous stream. So I've got to turn the game down here a bit. Ooh. See you soon, Otis. Have fun. And this soundtrack! I guarantee you've never seen these video games before. Unless you're a Game Boy freak, I suppose. Kind of like me, considering how many I've played just in this series. And there are certain other games that I do want to get around to ranking. There are a few that I have spent some time off-stream, just making sure I can rank them properly. But here we go. Snoopy with the power of his skateboard. Do you think this is going to be like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater? No, of course not. So we've got 150 breads, 150 loaves. Actually, what's that say? No, I can't read it. It's like Banny something. And, yeah. There's Snoopy right there. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the... I've got to be honest, I played this game a while back and I have no memory on how it works. But it looks like Choo Choo Rocket so far. Oh, hold on. So I think what I do is I get him to go into the shop. And when he does that, he comes out and I make him move down. I don't remember what this is. Can't remember. But yeah, this is made by Kemco. Which, of course, makers of the original Snoopy game that we saw on the previous stream. So I think we're supposed to buy this loaf. So So we go out there, and we'll get him to go to the exit. Also known as the Gore, I think? Or is it Door? Yeah, I think that's Door, actually. Yeah, it's not Crazy Castle, so it gets points for that. I mean, to be fair, the other Snoopy game also wasn't Crazy Castle, so I guess they wanted to do something a bit different with the Snoopy license. He's got higher standards than Mickey Mouse, as we all know. They should have made... You know that Red Baron game I played on the Atari collection for PS2? They should have made a Snoopy version of that. That would have been cool. I mean, to be fair, $50 for 13 video games, that's not too bad. I mean, that's like a quarter of Action 52 you could buy for that price. Okay, so the passwords are card suits, I guess. Okay, so this one we need to get... It's either a paintbrush or a pen. I can't tell which. But there is a slight choo-choo rocket feel to this one. So, I think the 4 at the bottom, I think that's just saying how many... what is that? I can't remember. Yeah, that's just saying how many moves I've got, or is it how many lives? I don't know, maybe I can just place as many arrows as I want, but I'm pretty sure the game doesn't work like that, because it would probably be way too easy if it was. But we got 150 gold, and I'm pretty sure it said it costs less than that, so we should be okay. And this, is this Lucy from the show? It's been so long since I've seen, like, since I've seen Snoopy in any capacity. Oh, hold on. What happens if I go to that block? I want to see what that's about. Oh, no, I don't know what that does. You know what I think it is? Maybe you can only have one arrow active at a time. I have no idea what this 5th option is, though. I think I did spend a bit of time playing this. Does B do anything? No. Select. Okay, I think select is just the that's just the, oh, you messed up, so you get to retry button. Probably shouldn't have pressed that. And start, I guess, is just pause, presumably. Yes. I've got to how slow this game is, too. Along with everything else. Also, where is Charlie Brown in this? I haven't seen him so far, like, at all. What are these items? You've got... Let's see, you've got a post box, toothpaste, and a pen. Might as well be for all I know. So if we go to the... Does that really just say door? Yep, let's go to the door, even though it's clearly a sign. So, also, we're in a land of trees and giant dice, which are all lined up exactly the same as one another. Or maybe they're meant to be houses, but they look like dice to me. So we've got 190 bucks. Is that supposed to be Charlie Brown? No, it can't be. Maybe it's a Linus. You know, it's like Linus and Lucy where they had that piano theme. But it's hard to tell from these graphics. It's the power of the Game Boy. Okay, so we gotta get a watermelon, I think. Oh yeah, now we got... Oh yeah, that's right. So you use the hammers to break the blocks. But it's also a case of, well, why do you have those blocks on the previous level where there is no hammer? I mean, presumably I only need to break one of them. Here we go, so we get stopped by the block. Yeah, he didn't play piano, so I'm thinking it's Linus, I think. Like I say, it's been quite a long time, so... Here we go. Oh, okay, it just breaks on its own, I guess. What I do remember about Charlie Brown and Snoopy is I'm fairly certain there was no Choo Choo Rocket episode. But if there is, I'd love to see it. There we go. Walks very gingerly to the shop to buy some watermelon. What happens if I buy 2? Is there any advantage or disadvantage to buying multiple? See, I think the lack of pace so far is my real issue with this one. It's like there's no way to speed the game up, as far as I can tell. Unless maybe that's what the feet do? Or whatever they're supposed to be. It's like paws. Whatever the finger's next to the hammer. It's hard to tell. Ooh, Charlie Brown Christmas. Yeah, I wonder if I can get that on DVD at some point. Maybe one day. Also, I just realised that is a tiny piano. It's like a toy piano. Which probably explains why it sounds like that. So we got spades and clubs. Wonderful. So we've got to get... we've got to get what looks like a diseased slice of bacon and some tonic, presumably to cure yourself from the bacon. It's not a 4K Blu-ray? Why, has it got some really bad upscaling? Okay, so I can't actually see the level until I select something, which is... No, I still can't see the whole level. What is going on? What is this thing? Is this a ladder? Is it pancakes stacked on top of one another? No, you know what it looks like? It looks like... It's like a mug on top of... No, it's like a saucepan on top of 2 dishes. Like, it may as well be. It's like... You know what? I mean, it's a Chemco game. You really think it's worth questioning the logic? I don't know what it was about Chemco games. I mean, I would assume that this is like a reskinned version of something else. Like this originally was released on some other system, and then Chemco got the license to the game, and then they brought it over to Game Boy, and just gave it the Snoopy license. Oh, that is a neutral face if I ever saw one. But we need to get this thing. I mean, is this like a chicken drumstick? I'm not even going to hazard a guess as to what that is. Okay, just to speed up the game. No, I have no idea what that is. What happens if he walks to the edge? Oh, is it falling off? Okay, he doesn't even fall, he just... Like, no walking on the grass in this game. Presumably it's grass anyway, who knows. I'm guessing I have to place the saucepan and plates between these areas. So, like, why does the green bit kill him anyway? Like, I'm fairly certain Snoopy wasn't allergic to grass. He spent a lot of time on the grass, from what I recall. Here we go, so we buy this again. So it's like a memory test, with some weird quasi-choo-choo rocket thing. Oh, it's a spring? I thought it was meant to be like a ladder. Oh, of course he walked past it. There we go. I don't know if there's any penalty for using less than the optimal amount of arrows. So I suppose more than the optimal amount in this case. Is this really the whole game? Just going to shops to buy things and then go to it. Like, I don't know. It just makes me think I could just play like Zelda or Pokemon or something, and there would be like an actual point to buying the items rather than just getting points. This game feels behind the times, I've got to be honest. Again, this is 1996, but even in 1990 this would have been old hat, I think. I don't know. Hard to say how this compares to the other Snoopy game, though, because, like I say, this is quite a bit different to that one. So we got to get a top hat. At least I can see what that is. Also, not being able to see the whole level, that's kind of a problem. So I assume I have to go left. As in the other left. Snoopy's left. Let's say that. It's an original game. See, I know there was that one Crazy Castle game where they, like, literally just ripped the entire concept off from an Amiga game developer and didn't give him credit or anything, which is bollocks. Yeah, there's some controversy over that, I think. Okay, so we've got the top hat. But what even is the point of the money system? Like, maybe that comes into play later on, but I wouldn't count on it. So, here's the thing. If he walks off this platform, does he die? No, so, okay, he can fall higher than his own height, but if he touches grass, he dies. I'm not even going to comment on that. That's, certainly a gameplay design choice, let's say that. I mean, gameplay-wise, it's, like, whatever. But you think they would have at least tried to make it a void? I don't know. If this was, like, a handheld version of Kurushi or something like that, or a Intelligent Cube, or whatever you want to call it. That'd be kind of cool, actually, because... I don't know. It's like, whenever I look at isometric games like this, I always think of Devil Dice, because Devil Dice is just awesome. This kind of isn't. But is it the worst isometric game I've played? I don't think it is. You know, I mean, is it really worse than Sonic 3D Blast? Well, yeah, actually it is, but... Oh, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't actually paying attention to what I was supposed to buy. You know, let's see what happens if I buy the wrong item. Because now I'm actually kind of interested to see what the game does. Also, I get the feeling that not being able to just look around to see what is, you know, to see what's on any given playfield, I feel like that's about to fuck me over on one of these later levels, maybe. Okay, does this... Okay. I couldn't tell if that counted as the exit or not. Oh, was that the correct one? I wasn't actually paying attention, so if the shrimp was correct, that was a pure guess. Nope, I guess I was right. Okay. Just to see if that was a fluke or not, I want to see if buying the wrong item is, like, you know, a fail. Like, it makes me restart the level. So we have to get... okay, we have to get a cup drink, as I like to call them, and that movie ticket. I've got a golden ticket. Maybe. Also, like, there's so much space on these levels, it doesn't actually do anything. Ugh! Okay. But, okay. So, oh! Okay, it's an auto-scrolling level now. Okay, let's see what happens if I buy the wrong item, because you know what? I feel like chips today. Give me that 420 gold. Okay, so now the game actually tries to introduce a challenge by giving you an implied timer. And I wonder if he dies if he crashes into the wall or not. Because falling off doesn't kill him, weirdly enough. What is this perspective? Okay, let's... Yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, okay, I can only buy two things. Never mind. Let's go to the exit. And let's see if I have to redo the level because I've bought the wrong items. So I want to see what the game does. Okay, so it does... Okay, so I did just... accidentally guess it correctly last time. You know, that's the wittiest thing anyone's ever said about this game. Especially me. Or especially including me, rather. I've never said it. You said it. But hey, at least now the game actually has a fail-state beyond touching the grass. So I'll give them some credit. I think this game had something like 120 levels. I think. I might be misremembering that. Maybe that was the first game. You know what this looks like a little bit? Sonic Labyrinth. You know, everyone's favourite Sonic game, of course. You know, almost as good as the beloved Sonic Blast. Almost, you may even say it's as good as Racing Damacy. Ooh, look at all that cash I got. Yes, Snoopy's Labyrinth. I'd play it. This isn't really much of a labyrinth, though. This is more of a confetti ball, toy piano festival. Okay, well, apparently the cost of inflation has hit the Snoopy world pretty hard, since now he has to pay, like, 320 yen. I'm just gonna say it's yen, because it's a Japanese game. Okay, so I can do those at the same time, at least. Oh, do I lose if he gets scrolled off the screen? I don't do this in time otherwise. It's kind of funny, actually, because I do like some of the Kenko puzzle games, like Kablooey. Like I said, I've never been a big fan of the SNES, but Kablooey is good times. I don't care if no one else thinks that. I think it, and therefore it's true. Okay, let's get the top hat, because we need to be proper. Okay. Yeah, Sonic Labyrinth is a good soundtrack. See, I don't think Sonic Labyrinth is nearly as bad as people say it is. You compare it to Sonic 2 on Game Gear, it's infinitely better than that. And I will take that to the grave. Oh, give him that 1,000 points! Yeah, there we go. Snoopy did it again. But, like, I don't know, it just makes me want to play Red Baron again. Rather than just Snoopy's isometric puzzle game-a-thon. Though I do enjoy the piano at the end of the level. Ooh, it's getting hard now. Look at all that money I gotta spend. So I gotta buy the bacon, the banana, and the carrot. Dishes this is making. Who's up for a nice round of Snoopy's fruit salad stew? Totally won't make you sick after eating it just once. Actually, I might just put in a password to skip to one of the later levels. Because, like I say, I think there are a lot of levels in this game. Just trying to see if I can find... See if I can find a page that includes the passwords for this one. Ooh, again, that face. That is an amazing face, though. Sonic Blast, it's very uninspired, and the last two levels are horrible. Like, I think it was called Blue Marine Zone. That is one of the worst levels in any Sonic game. And I will stand by that one. It's not worse than Sonic 2, but it's pretty bad. Oh, wrong button. Okay. I mean, this does kind of feel like the one below version of Choo Choo Rocket, though. It's like I'm missing Choo Choo Rocket as I play this. It's like why couldn't we have Choo Choo Rocket on Game Boy? Well, there was a Game Boy Advance version, to be fair. So I suppose I could just play that. And that's a really good version. It's got, like, literally thousands of puzzles that you don't get on the Dreamcast version. Unless you downloaded them, I guess, back in the day. But nowadays, Yeah, got to play the GBA version. One of my favourite GBA games, that. Admittedly, I haven't played many GBA games, but still. Oh god, oh no, it still moves even when I'm... even when Snoopy's not moving. I say I'm not moving, but I'm not actually controlling Snoopy, I'm just the director of this play. Kind of like Pac-Man 2, actually, now that I think about it. You know, the one that isn't actually Pac-Man, it's just a game where Pac-Man has to go around and buy some milk for Pac-Baby or whatever that game is. Or maybe the pause of the run mode. I'll have to test that out. Let's try this level, and then we'll probably move on. So this is stage 9 clear. Stage 10, we gotta buy... How expensive is the shrimp? What, are we going to a fucking Michelin 5-star restaurant? What is the thing in the middle supposed to be? Like, is that a light switch? Is it a post box? Like, who am I buying this for? Like, what is the purpose of buying all these things? Yeah, I'm guessing there's a run function in this. But I also get the feeling that you have to go at a certain speed on all these levels. Otherwise you get scrolled off by the screen and then you fail the level. Yeah, it sounds like a good way to play Pac-Man 2. You know what? See what happens. Oh, wrong way! Oh no! No! I thought there was a run function. It is completely the opposite. How is there no run in this game? Why is Charlie Brown buried in the cement? You mess around with the Mafia. Charlie Brown's dark secret has finally come out thanks to the power of Chemco. Seriously, why is he buried in the ground? I mean, I might get it if it was the grass. Yeah, Pac-Man 2 is weird. I was never a fan of it, but I can kind of see why other people would like it. There's something to that game. Also, why does Charlie Brown only have one eye? Oh, see what the fish does. I have no idea. So, does the fish kill Snoopy? Or does it kill Charlie? No, Charlie Brown is a collectible. In what sense, I don't know. I don't think I want to know about the logistics behind that. You know, Charlie Brown has suffered enough in his life. Okay, without being reduced to a collectible in a Snoopy game. Okay. Okay, so the levels are just getting more drawn out, I guess. Oh, hold on. I want to hear that sound. Well, what is that? Rocket? Yeah, I'm just going to collect a rocket. Just like fly off into space. Okay, we're going to beat this level at least, and... oh. Did Charlie Brown just stop us? Yeah, you know what? Leave him in the ground. So he gets for being a bastard. Well, I've only got one spring, so I have to risk being killed by the screen moving. Oh. He's hanging in there. Come on, Snoopy, you can do it. Yo, Ms. Pac-Man. Now that was a Mega Drive game. I think I'd like this game more if there was an option to make it faster than it is. Because the lack of speed is an issue. It's like, I get that the Game Boy didn't have the best screen in the world, but is there any reason for the game to be... why isn't it letting me buy anything? This is... Okay, let's see what happens when the screen moves. Oh. Is that it? Yo, what? Yo, Snoopy has a bit, just take a dive into the grass. You can tell this is a Kemco game from the sound, though. Like, that is as Kemco as it gets. As Kemco as possible. Okay, let's see what the game over screen looks like. I want to see that. Oh. No, he's just upset. Okay, let's skip to a later level. Let's see what these look like. Let's go to level 33. Why not? Yeah, see what this one looks like. Pretty easy passwords to guess, I imagine, as well. Okay, so now it's a case of you just got to learn the correct pattern, I guess? Do you think this game would have been better if it had the Sonic Labyrinth music in the background as well? When does Cat-Mania start? I think they might improve it a bit. Also, I wasn't paying attention to what I was supposed to do. Wait, is it already 50 minutes in? Is that really how long I've been playing this game? Well, no, because it's like 25 to 4 now. So I haven't been playing it that long. It's maybe 30 minutes at most. Okay. Let's go to Group W. Let's see if the W kills me. But he goes into the W and then... Oh. Okay, it just does that. So, where is this? Like, are those lights in the background? There's a movie set? Or the world's most abstract game of life? What am I supposed to use for that? Oh, hold on. With this, maybe? Yeah, so that's probably it. Oh, is that it? Okay, I think we're just about done with this one. I mean, what do I say about Snoopy 2 on the Game Boy? Well, I think the best place to start is with Snoopy 1, or Snoopy Magic Show, as it's also known. Is this better than Snoopy Magic Show? Well, see, I'm trying to remember what Snoopy Magic Show even was like. It wasn't great. It was a bit on the mediocre song. Mediocre song, yeah, that sounds about right, actually. But yeah, mediocre side is what I meant to say. But yeah, it's a bit on the mediocre side. It was that game where Snoopy walked around in a maze and tried to dodge balls and collect various bits and bobs that had nothing to do with anything. So, in many ways, it is just like this game. You know, Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2 are one and the same. But in other ways, they're very different. Snoopy 2 is this isometric perspective. You're not controlling Snoopy directly. You're placing arrows on the board to move him around. So it's kind of different. I feel like it's... From a game design standpoint, it's a bit more sound than the original. The first one felt kind of jank, and it felt kind of luck-based at points with dodging the balls. But Snoopy 2 is also incredibly slow. And I don't know. I feel like I'd have to be especially bored to want to play this one. It's... I don't know. Like... Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Snoopy Magic Show also wasn't very good. But at least Snoopy Magic Show had pace to it. There was something to it. Yeah, it's worse than that. It's worse than Wizards and Warriors Chapter 10. I feel like there was more going on in that game. There was a bit more of interest, you know, more variation in the levels. You had boss fights, quite a few different enemy types, hidden areas. You know, there was something to it. Dead Heat Scramble was more interesting. It was a ball-like to play, but there was at least something to it. Penguin Land at least had a really cool soundtrack. Wasn't a great version of Penguin Land, but it had that going for it. But is it worse than Amazing Spider-Man? Yes. Because Amazing Spider-Man, again, it was at least a decently paced game, if nothing else. It's worse than Game of Harmony. It's worse than Mario and Yoshi. Mario and Yoshi is also kind of slow-paced, but at least you had sort of a more direct control over the game. And there was a bit more in terms of options. You know, you also could do more with the... Is it the music? You had like several different choices. But it's not worse than Zoids. Zoids was just kind of irritating to play. It was just kind of like a bad shoot-em-up. At least, you know, Snoopy 2 at least has a bit more ingenuity to it. Zoids is just a worse version of every other shooter that was coming out at the time. So, you know, I'm going to put it above Zoids. So, congratulations to our new Top 100 game, Snoopy no Hajimete no Otsukai. You know, that classic. So, yes. Let's, oh, actually, firstly, I'm going to reset this so I can set a better colour palette for this one. Set it to this one. I think this will do for Taz-Mania 2. Do you think this is going to be the long-awaited sequel to Taz-Mania's story? Let's see. Nope, it's actually based on the cartoon Taz-Mania. Ooh. I'm not going to lie, the only thing I remember about Taz-Mania is the theme song where they just go Taz-Mania. You got Dinosaur Man, who was just kind of a bastard to Taz. And there was that one kid that kind of looked a bit like Mowgli from the Jungle Book. And, like, Taz had a family for some reason. I never understood that. So yes, from Beam Software, who made such classics as Back to the Future Part 2 and 3. Yes. Oh, and screen went off there for a second. Wonderful. So what is going on here? So they're setting traps for Taz to get caught by. This is looking a bit like the Speedy Gonzales game on the SNES, actually. But shout out to Brian, Arthur, David, Andrew, Shane, and Greg. Yes, Taz-Mania 2 from 1997 with the option to turn the music off. If you particularly want to. We'll leave it on. Okay, so Taz-Mania 2 has a bit of an interesting history behind it. So, as you may be aware, there were 2 Taz-Mania games released on Game Boy. In fact, this does resemble the Master System Taz-Mania game, which is actually good. The Master System one was a surprisingly good game, for what it's worth. But, oh. Yeah, here we go. Taz is no longer messing about. But anyway. Yeah, so Taz-Mania 2 is a bit of an interesting history behind it. So, like I say, there were 2 Taz-Mania games released for Game Boy. But here's the thing, so this version that we're looking at was released in 1997. So this is the American release of the game. But the original European version was actually released... Oh, and the spinning thing ran out. Wonderful. But yeah, the original European version of this was released in 1993, I think. And for whatever reason, it just wasn't released in America at that time. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah. Yeah, originally released in the European market, eventually got released in America, but in between that, there was another Taz-Mania game that got released in America, and for some reason when it got released in Europe, it was known as Looney Tunes 2. So I guess it was a sequel to the other Looney Tunes game that had, like, all the, you know, Looney Tunes characters in it. Because there was one where it was like a big crossover thing. So, like, I hate the fact that it carries over the meter between levels. Like, there's no reason for that other than to just be a dick. Because it's like, okay, the thing recharges so slowly. Maybe if I stand in place, it charges faster? No. It's like Rolling Thunder, just you permanently have one bullet. And, like, where are the power-ups to refill my meter? Like, I don't see a single power-up that does that anywhere. It's like, you have these collectibles that don't do anything. But anyway. Yeah, so like I say, in Europe this was just known as Taz-Mania 1. But in America it was known as Taz-Mania 2. I don't understand it. Okay, here we go. We finally got the meter filled up. See, the problem is, you go so fast, you can't see if there are any enemies coming or not. Like, even when you're just rolling down a hill like this. Like that. So yeah, this is clearly taking inspiration from the Mega Drive game, which, yeah, Game Design 101, never take inspiration from the Taz-Mania game on Mega Drive, because it's literally one of the worst games on that console. Like, I would rather play fucking the Action 52 platforms over that. I mean, this is like some weird halfway point between the Mega Drive and Master System games. I don't know what's going on there. But, like, the meter is so tiny, you get maybe, like, 10 seconds to be able to spin around. And the power-up's so scarce, the charging thing just doesn't work. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this one. Great. Wonderful. Like, can I even... Okay. I like when you can't see where you're going. That information may be false. The problem is, so it's like, okay, you want to spin around, but you get so little time to do that, you have to be incredibly careful of where you use it. But knowing where to use it basically requires you to know what's coming already. So it just doesn't work. You know, either give me infinite spin, or at least, like, a spin that recharges after a few seconds. Like, that would have worked, I think. Because, I mean, you've got the time limit. But what did that do? Did that give me health, or... No, it didn't. I think so. Now, there is a dark secret about Taz-Mania 2 on Game Boy. Because this was not originally Taz-Mania 2 on Game Boy. In fact, it wasn't even originally Taz-Mania 1 on Game Boy. This actually started out... Well, from what I understand, I read up on this. And I believe this actually started out life as a game called Baby T-Rex, which was a spin-off of Radical Rex, the, you know, that 16-bit platformer, where they were just like, we're going to do a Game Boy version. And then they reskinned it 5 or 6 times, like, literally. So they did one based on We're Back at Dinosaur Tale, or whatever that film was called. I literally can't remember the name of the film, I've never seen it, but... So they did that. Like, how do you even dodge the enemies? Like, the movement in this is so stiff. But anyway, yeah, so they did that. And then they also reskinned it... What were the other reskins? There was an Australian version based on... Was it like a chocolate mascot or something like that? I literally have no idea. I think it was called Agro Sort, and I have no idea what that is. It's not a thing in the UK. And they had a Swedish version called Bamser, I think. I have no idea what Bamser is. Like, literally never heard of it outside of that game. I can't even see where I'm going. I mean, maybe that's just the colour palette that I have. Oh, also I'm going backwards. Wonderful. That's totally what I wanted to do. And, yeah, as if those versions of the game weren't enough. There was also a planned version for the UK market based on Ed the Duck, the classic puppet, children's TV puppet, that is completely unknown in the rest of the world because, you know, I mean, outside of Andy Crane and Andy Peters, who really cares about Ed the Duck? Also, yeah, the same Andy Crane who did Bad Influence, by the way. That's what he was doing before that show. Oh, you arse. I'm trying to think, like, what good Taz-Mania games exist? Because there's the one on the Master System. That one's actually quite good. I've played through that one a while ago on my own time. That one's pretty good. There was Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters on PlayStation. I want to say that one was pretty good too. And I literally can't think of any others, because the Mega Drive game is one of the worst things I've ever played in my life. And SNES game, I never played it. Game Gear game, that looks like a special kind of hell. Like, that literally looks like one of the worst games ever made. Like, as in worse than the Mega Drive one somehow. And then there was... I can't even remember what else. I mean, there was this game, obviously. And there was, as I say, there was a second Taz-Mania game. I haven't played that one, so I have no idea if that one's any good. I would assume it's better than this. It's scarcely be worse. Can you tell what I think about it? Yeah. Yeah. Good job, Australia. You did your own nation's mascot proud with this one. You know, it's almost as good as the Mr. Blobby game that we made. Actually, no, the Mr. Blobby game is better than this. But it wasn't on Game Boy. Yeah, like, I remember the sequel on the Mega Drive not being as bad, but it's still not something you want to play, really. It's better than the first game, but that's also like saying, you know, smashing your face into a wall is better than smashing your face after jumping 50 feet off a cliff. So, well, either way, I'm not going to do it. See, look at that. Like, the thing literally runs out in a second. You get 1 second of spin time. And because you move so fast, like, I'm not even trying to move fast. I'm just trying to, like, make my way through the level without dying. But it moves so fast no matter what you do. Like, because there are so many hills in the game. You can't see what's coming because the screen is so small. Like, even with the zoomed out sprites, you can't see what's coming. And it just makes the game, well, a barely playable mess. To tell you the truth. Oh, and also, that hurts you? I don't know what it is. It's a chocolate. It may as well be chocolate for all I know. But, like, I was literally trying to spin there, and the game wouldn't let me because it's an arsehole. Yeah, like, this really is giving me flashbacks to the Mega Drive game, and, you know, I think it's fair to say that when you're reminding me of that game, yeah, you're probably not going to do so well in the rankings. I mean, I'm not ranking Mega Drive games, because, I mean, Kim Justice did that way better than I ever could, but if I was ranking Mega Drive games, that Taz-Mania game would genuinely have a decent shot at making the bottom 10. That's how bad that game is. That's like, you know, Dark Castle bad. Is there something down on this bottom left corner? I mean, I've got no health left, I may as well take the risk. Are you sure? Have you played this one? Have you played this game? That's my question to you. See, if they got rid of that stupid, arbitrary, like, meter in the bottom, you can just spin as much as you want. Or, if you could charge it up properly, it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I mean, the music's okay. You know, like, presentation-wise, this isn't too bad. But, oh... No, I can't even hide my contempt for this one. Like, no, we'll save my thoughts for when we actually get around to ranking these games, or this particular game. But, I've got things. I've got statements. I've got a statement to make to Taz-Mania, and, you know, like, you'd think if you were going to make a game based on your own country's mascot, you'd probably, you know, put a bit more effort in. I want to at least try to finish this level. I want to at least get to a boss. Okay, well, one extra life at least. So, like, what does this do? So I collected the stalactite. I have no idea what that does. And the game certainly isn't going to make any effort to explain it. Oh, and of course, I was like 2 seconds away from the exit the whole time. And because the game doesn't have checkpoints. Yeah, well, come back to me when you have played it. But don't go away yet, you know. Oh, here we go. So here's tank ball. Yeah, wasn't this like the Jungle Book kid? Oh, okay. So the stalactites are projectiles. How does that work? Is this it? It's like they saw the. Oh. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? God, it's like that first screen in Dragon's Lair on the NES. You know, the dragon that, like, raises... That, like, lowers his head when you get close to him. Ooh. Okay, literally, what am I supposed to do on this bit? Because the projectiles, it's like Space Invaders. It's like they just knock out your shots, and because you have a limited supply of shots... Yeah, I literally don't know what the strategy is. And look at this, there's like a full second delay on the animation. Like, it literally takes a second for the throwing animation, even though it's got like 2 frames of animation. Okay, like fucking Shaq Fu had faster animation attacks than this. And, yeah, I don't think this has continues. Well, you know what? I think that's a good cue to end this one. I absolutely do not want to play any more than that. God. How many people do you think broke their Game Boys over that game? I'm going to guess more than 0. Well, at least I've answered the question of why this game didn't get released in America for a good few years. It's because no one wants to play the shit. But anyway. Is it better than Snoopy no Hajimete no Otsukai? No, it's not. It's not. I mean, the Snoopy game wasn't great. It was... See, I mean, the Snoopy game is dull. But it's at least kind of engaging. This game just makes you want to throw the Game Boy out the window. And, you know, when you do that, it's like, you know what? No, fuck your game. Into the bin it goes. It's worse than Versus Battler. That game at least had a really cool soundtrack spanning several genres. You know, Taz-Mania doesn't do that. It's worse than Castlevania The Adventure. In fact, it's also less playable than Castlevania The Adventure. That game was slow, but at least... Like, I swear, the animation... Like, okay, the attacks in that game are literally faster than the ones in this, and that's just incorrect. It's worse than Castellian. As much of a bastard as Castellian is, at least... It at least had an interesting idea behind it. This is just a generic platformer done badly. So it's worse than that. It's worse than Palamedes. It's worse than Amida. So much worse than Amida. It's worse than Super Donkey Kong 3. Like, Super Donkey Kong 3 is a bad game, but if you play it with the sound off, it doesn't bring those same feelings of rage outside of maybe the soundtrack. But again, you can fix that by turning the sound off. That's it. Yeah, turn the sound off and you're golden. Is it worse than Escape from Camp Deadly? See, Escape from Camp Deadly was similarly bad, but for different reasons. Like, Taz-Mania was too fast, and you can't see where you're going, so you just crash into everything. Your weapons suck. Like, you know, Bart Simpson at least had that boomerang that he could just keep collecting over and over, until you get to the second level where the game throws away the boomerang because it's a git. But, you know, at least for that first level, it was kind of playable. It looked worse than this. But if I had to play one of them again, I'd go for Escape from Camp Deadly, to be honest. It's worse than Monster Truck, because at least in that game I could get through a few levels of it, and not want to smash the Game Boy. It's worse than Trump Boy, because Trump Boy, at least, there's variety. I can keep switching between the 3 games. None of them are good, but it's less rage-inducing. It's worse than Raijino. I mean, Raijino, you know, it's at least less trodden ground than a game like Taz-Mania 2. Because there are so many Taz-Mania games just like it, and some of those games are better. Not all of them, because supposedly the Game Gear one is the worst. But like, this is on a similar level to the Mega Drive Taz-Mania, and that puts it below Raijino. NFL Football is better than this, because at least... I mean, both games have a 2-player mode, but like, with the 2-player mode in Taz-Mania, I'm pretty sure you just take turns, because there's no other way they could have done it. And like, are you really going to run the risk of giving your Game Boy to a second player to play Taz-Mania 2, and then have them throw the Game Boy at the window? And then you hassle them to buy another Game Boy, but they refuse to. So you go to their mom, who then tells you to get the fuck out of their face, and then never come around their house again. Okay, okay, if you give this game to another person, you have lost that person as your friend. So it's worse than NFL. But is it worse than Primitive Princess? I mean, Primitive Princess is frustrating in a similar way, but for completely different reasons. But Primitive Princess at least had a Primitive Princess in the game. You know, there was a Primitive Princess in there. You cannot argue with that. Taz-Mania 2 has Taz-Mania in it, but its status as the second game is debatable. Because, again, this predates the other Snoopy game. Or not the other Snoopy game. Well, it does. But it predates the other Taz-Mania game. And I would imagine nothing was done in those intervening 3 or 4 years between releasing the different versions. But is it worse than Primitive Princess? You know, see, I'm just thinking back to that boss fight where you're given, like, the worst attack. Like, we're talking, like, an attack that's about as effective as Apollo's, you know, crossbow. It just doesn't hit anything. And even if you could hit anything, it's like you know, it's one of those things where the boss destroys your projectiles and then you can never hit it. So you're forced to spin into it, but that doesn't work either. Yeah, I think that boss fight makes this worse than Primitive Princess. It's worse than that. It's worse than Primitive Princess! I never thought I'd see the day. But, okay, here's the real question. Is it worse than Taz-Mania story? Like, Taz-Mania has gotten some really bad representation on the Game Boy. Like, to anyone from Taz-Mania who's watching this, which I assume is no one, but in the off chance that anyone from Taz-Mania is watching this, I sincerely apologise on the Game Boy's behalf that these 2 games are your representation of your territory. Is it worse than Taz-Mania story? I think there is a level select in this. I mean, you could skip the boss fights. So there is that. The graphics aren't as bad as Taz-Mania story. The soundtrack isn't as bad. I mean, no. I think on the whole, it's better than Taz-Mania story. It's more frustrating, but there is more to it. So I think that makes it better than Taz-Mania story, but, you know, Like, what did Taz-Mania do to Nintendo that this is their representation? I don't know. I don't know what they did. Maybe they know what they did. Maybe Taz-Mania himself knows what he did. But, Beosoft Game Boy? Beosoft? Okay. Let's, go to the next game. So, oh, hold on. Let me get the inverted colour scheme for this next one. Ooh. Nice menu, though. That's pretty good. Okay. So, next up on the list is Xenon 2. Well, I think I know what to expect from this one. Oh god, the remix, what is this? Oh no, this... Oh, hold on. I think they actually did make the colour black for this normally. Okay, let me fix that. Because usually they don't do that, so... what's a good colour palette for this one? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let's try this one. The yellow and black as opposed to the black and yellow. Okay. PCM complete. Shout out to them. So yes, Xenon 2 for Game Boy. Oh, it's trying. Also, that says Mecablast. That is not a G. Okay, I call shenanigans. Xenon 2 Mecablast. Wonderful. Oh, no, wait. So, it's got a black background on the title screen and a white background in the actual game. What is going on? Okay, you know what? We're inverting it again. Hold on to your hats. Okay. It might be the Japanese version. I don't know. I don't know much about Xenon 2 beyond having played it. I have played other versions of this, and I think I might have played this one a small amount. So I'm going to go for medium difficulty. So let's see what... Okay, amazing colour palette already. So, okay, we got a couple speed ups already, so that's good. I wonder if there are any differences between this and the other versions. Because, like I say, I think I've only ever played this game on this multicart. Because why would I actively go out of my way to play Xenon 2 through any other means? But I mean, here's the question. Do you think this is going to be worse than Taz-Mania 2? Well, I'll have to wait and see. Well, you know, I'll give them credit. They are trying to do the Bomb the Bass soundtrack. You know, it's trying its best. But I think the lack of the Amiga sound chip is a problem for Xenon 2. Like, because, you know, you want a system that can do proper, you know, tracked sound, like tracker module noise. Trying to do anything else with this soundtrack, it just doesn't have the same effect to it. You know, this didn't sound great on the Mega Drive or Master System or anything else. This is the, what is it, the Assault 3613. Also, I love that the enemies, you know, basically take off a quarter of your health bar if you touch them. Like, at all. Also, it's got that thing where if you go the wrong way, so, like, if I'd gone right there, I'd have to go and backtrack to an earlier point in the level. Everyone's favourite Euro shooter, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was everyone's favourite back in 1988, or whatever year it came out, I don't remember. This version was in the early 90s, though. But, you know, I've played a few shooters in this series. You know, I've played the classic Dan Laser, and the somewhat less classic Solar Striker. Oh! We made it to the shop! Hooray! You know, I've never played that version. I didn't even realise there was an X68,000 version of this. So what have we got? We've got the rear shot. And I can't even tell what that is. Oh, hold on. Is that selling the items, I think? No, I don't want to do that. I want to hold on to... Yeah, because I think this is... Yeah, this is like sell the items I've got. I don't want to do that. What will you buy? Okay, let's do it. I hope this game has some crazy bass. Okay, so we've got advice. Well, we don't need that. Speed up, energy power, auto. See, like, you have to buy auto fire. Like what evil person forces you to buy auto fire in any game? Also, yeah, I will throw out a word of advice myself. Never buy this thing. So the Super Nashwan, I think, makes you super big, and it makes you invincible. But I think it literally lasts 10 seconds, so it's literally just a trap. So, yeah, I'm just going to take the energy. See if I can at least get to the boss. So, re-entering level 1. I do like the fact that it's got a difficulty selection, though, because I don't remember any of the other versions having that. So I guess we'll probably inevitably die on this first level and then try it on easy to see if that improves it in any amount. Maybe it gives you invulnerability for a couple of seconds whenever you get hit. You know, like a real game. It's kind of ironic because, you know, as a native European, like, I have very little tolerance for Euro shooters. I just think that, like, Euro shooters as a subgenre are just bad. You know, like, what people say about nu metal is what I think about Euro shooters. It's like, why does this genre exist? Like, who actually likes this genre in this day and age? Though nu metal is kind of the inverse. People dissed it when it was the big thing, and now it's not the big thing anymore. People are more charitable towards it. Whereas I think people are a lot less charitable to Euro shooters today than they used to be. Or at least in Europe they are anyway. I don't think that is true for the rest of the world. I think everyone outside of Europe kind of recognised these games for what they were at the time, which is why no one played them. Also, I like that I'm just going around collecting copyright symbols. Maybe I'm playing as MC Double Death DP. Though honestly, an MC Double Death DP game would be far more interesting. Also, there's like some weird inertia with the ship. You don't just instantly stop when you like go over the D-pad. You know, there's like some drift. Which I guess, you know, it's in space. I mean, I'll forgive him for that, but... Now, I will give the game this. It runs better than the Master System version, because that version chugs really badly. Like, it's almost unplayable. Like, regardless of the actual game design. Like, even if it was a conversion of a good game, it would still be pretty much unplayable, because the game just runs at like 2 frames a second. So this is better than that version. I'll give it that. But it's got the same, like, bullshit, irregular enemy patterns that are like, okay, why did you program it like this? Like, Bitmap Brothers, I remember liking Chaos Engine for what it's worth. Speedball 2 is cool. I feel like there was a Speedball 2 on Game Boy, but I can't imagine that's the version you'd want to play, really. It's, you know, go for it on Mega Drive or Amiga or something. Also, yeah, this is not a... Also, that looked like a collectible, I'm sorry. Okay, I call bollocks on that. What's funny, there was like a review of this game from, I think it was Rose Tinted Spectrum who looked at this fairly recently. And basically said that the game was impossible to review because, like, every single opinion that could possibly be expressed on a game is expressed on this game from different people. You know, people who consider it the best game ever, people who consider it the worst game ever, people who thought the graphics and sounds were cool, but that the game played like arse, and people who thought the shopkeeper was cool. I'll give this game that. The shopkeeper is awesome. That's one thing about this game I like. The drawing of the shopkeeper, that gives it points. But it loses points for having to match the buttons, because it doesn't give me enough cash to buy the auto-fire thing right away. It is rare to find a health system in a shooter. I mean, you know, you get games like Gradius where you get... what is it? Shields. Oh, okay, I collected a side pod thing. A bit like 1942, actually. But it really is like Euro shooters come from an alternate universe where arcade games didn't exist, and we had to invent our own genres with our own rules that... Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, that's the best description for this game. You know what? The shopkeeper's cool. Got that going for it. Doesn't look quite as good with this inverted colour scheme, I don't think, but, you know, we'll live with that. Like, maybe if this had the original Bomb the Bass soundtrack, this would get more points. Also, yeah, the lack of checkpoints is also a problem. The fact that you get, I think, one checkpoint for the entire level. It's like someone signed off on that. Oof. I wonder why they never made a Xenon 3. The £1,000,000 question. You know, thankfully, I get to like mash the A button on the GameCube controller, which at least is a massive button, which makes this a bit less of a bastard to deal with. It's amazing that the copyright is one of the few things that doesn't kill you in this game. It's kind of the inverse of Twitch now that I think about it. It's like, yeah, good luck dodging half this shit. It's like there isn't even a pattern. It's just like it may as well be randomized for all I know. It's like, oh yeah, because I can totally dodge that. It's like, and not to mention the enemies just come out of every orifice on the screen. And some of them are so fast that, again, just like the Taz-Mania game, sometimes you're simply not given time to react to what's happening. I feel like it's less of a problem on the computer versions, just because the screen is bigger. Like, reducing the screen size is not going to help. I want to at least see if I can get to the boss and see if that's the same as it is in the other versions. I do find it amusing that the shop just appears out of nowhere at points, but like when you get to that point in the level. Also, like that you can't actually see how many coins you've got. I'm sure on the other versions you could. They just didn't bother to program that into this version. So yeah, if I pause the game, it just does that. Can you feel the Fast and Furious gameplay? Okay, this is like the first boss from R-Type turned 45 degrees, I guess. Except now the screen just moves around like a drunkard. Oh, is this it? Oh, great. So I love that the bullets don't disappear when they touch you. It's like literally like an Action 52 game. Like, oh, yeah, we don't know how to despawn the bullet off the screen after it hits you, so we're just going to have it take all of your health. Okay, you have to find, like, the magic pixel. Yeah, it's like there's one pixel that hurts the boss, and you have to find it. So it's like Spot Pixel game, except... Yeah, it's like Coronation Street, the mystery of the missing hot pot recipe. If it was designed by bastards. Well, actually, that game probably was too, but, you know. So I don't get why some screens have a dark background and other ones have a light one. That's just weird. So we've got rear shot, cannon. No, I'm going to keep those. Okay, let's see what items we get to buy. Yo, this screen is the best part of the game. Oh, could buy a whole load of stuff here. So, speed up, energy, auto fire. So what have we got? The power up. I think that just upgrades the bullets slightly. Like, electro ball, I have no idea what that is. Side shot. Let's see, we've got the rear shot. Energy power 2. Well, I want to see what this is. So we've got the double shot. The mine. Okay, well, let's get energy, because I kind of need that. So what we've got here, I mean, given the way the enemies frequently spawning from the sides, I feel like side shot would actually be quite useful. So let's get the electro ball and yeah, side shot. And what was the stuff on the top? Yeah, let's might as well get the auto fire, so I don't have to constantly mash the button. Actually, what is the advice? I want to see this. Buy double shot. Well, too late for that. Great advice. Advice: don't die. Hey, Robbie, what it is. Well, at least now I can just hold down the button. So that's something. Also, yeah, look at how fast these enemies are. Like they're like escapees from Action 52. It's like trying to play Cheetahman all over again. Or no. Oh, hold on. The electro ball. Okay, that's my projectile. It's like that one gun from RoboCop vs Terminator. But you can only fire one of them because the game couldn't handle more than that. So yeah, energy power 2. I don't know what that does. Maybe that allows me to take more hits before the meter goes down. Maybe the meter goes down more incrementally. But yeah, I get the feeling that side shot is the key to survival. Well, I've already made it to level 2, so, you know, already I've made more progress than I did in the Taz-Mania game somehow. Okay, well, oh. Of course the coins fly off screen after a while, because the bastards. Yeah, I'm going to fly off to some other spaceman who's going to collect it. Do you think Jazzman would approve of this game? Do you think that Pungent Smells consummate his rule beyond the Black Horizon? I don't know. I feel like this game could have done with some spherical songs, to be honest. But yeah, here we go. So I feel like the electro ball may actually be quite useful here. So is this a boss fight, or is this just a part of the level? I can't even tell. Here we go. Oh! What is this game design? Yeah, I don't know about this. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, where am I supposed to hit the boss? Because I know the electro ball harms it. Maybe it's this thing on the top. Is it this thing on the top right? No, there's more. But wait, there's more. Okay, this is the secret. Just get the electro ball and you're good. There we go. Yep, this is the furthest I've ever gotten in Xenon 2, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I mean, for what it's worth, it's probably still better than the Mega Drive version of Battle Squadron, because that game was appalling. Oh, did they get more expensive? Oh, I see, it's asking what to sell. Well, so what we've got, well, side shot, rear shot. I mean, do I need the cannon? How much do I get for selling the cannon? Oh, actually, that's pretty good. I'll take that. Okay. So let's see what we can buy. See, I like that this game has a shop system. That's something you don't usually see in the genre. So I'll give them some credit. You know, there's some interesting things going on. So we've got the side shot, rear shot. So we've got the auto fire ready. Well, I may as well buy the speed up and the energy power. What is this thing? Oh, rear shot. I'm pretty sure I've got these three things already. Yeah, and there's no just regular power up, I guess. I mean, I could show off the Super Nashwan power. I think it overrides the other power-ups, though. So, not worth it. Re-entering... Wait, we're still level 2? Could have sworn this was level 3 now, but okay, I guess level 2 just has multiple bosses. Hum. See, I'm more of a pink jelly fan myself, but... Maybe that was the hum of an Ariston fridge. And we're about to play some Robocop. Ugh. Okay, it turns out the Electro Ball is super useful. It's good to know. I like the Z. Except when it disappears off the screen like a bastard. Okay, apparently I can't destroy that thing at all. It just explodes in its own accord. Okay, let's see what this is. Speeder? Is that what that is? Here we go. Gotta navigate the way through these corridors. I mean... Yep, even Europe was like, yeah, we're done with this now. You know, we've moved on to Thunder Force 4. We no longer have time for Xenon 2. You know, it is the 90s, and there is time for Clax. But there is no time for Xenon 2. Its time came and went in the space of like half an hour. You know, I mean, maybe if you're a Bomb the Bass fan, you can just... you can play it to listen to the soundtrack, but, you know, aside from that, you can kind of just ignore the rest of the game. But I don't know, is this the worst shooter I've played so far? I'm not I'd have to think about whatever ones there are, because I don't remember. What even are... Okay, what are the boss's hitboxes? I feel like it might be more obvious on the like computer versions, I don't know. I mean, you'd think it'd be like the spider's face. Is it the abdomen? The center? Okay, well, we beat the spider. We are victorious! I think that's it. Well, 1988 apparently. Or whichever year. Well, I think that's the year the song came out, so... These are really the only items I've got. I thought I had more than that. Okay. So I got 4,700. What does that allow me to buy? Okay. Oh, we can buy everything. So we've got double shot, missile launcher, laser. Well, you know what? Since this is the last item on the menu, and it sounds good, yeah, let's go for the laser. Because the enemies, I feel like some of them are bullet sponges. And let's get some health refill. I'm not gonna lie, I played this game a lot more than I was expecting to. But hey, we're in level 3. Let's do it. Oh. Oh no, there's the laser. We have entered the Dan Laser mode. I'm not sure if this is quite crazy mode, though. I think this is still, you know, a little bit on the normie side. Actually, no. Euro shooters are anything but normie. Like, if you're into a Euro shooter, you have to turn in your normie card at that point. I turned mine in the day I was born, to be fair. I wasn't allowed to have them. Oh, well I got my health back at least. The game showed mercy. Unlike the Taz-Mania game, which shows no mercy. So here we go, Spaceman versus Space Weevil, who also have lasers. And space wheels, I think, in like Red Dwarf, I think. A delicacy, because they didn't have anything else to eat. Oh, great. Can scarcely dodge it. Wonderful. Now, probably going to get game over here, I think. Because you look at the lack of space I've got to work with. Oh, okay, they only shoot down. Hooray! I was expecting them to shoot up and then just kill me immediately. So I'm guessing health level 1 just gives you half health, and health level 2 gives you full health. That's my guess, because the icons are pretty much the same. Oh. Totally fair boss fight! I should totally just be better at this game. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for... Yep, shout out to Teeny Weeny Games for making this version of Xenon 2 Mecablast. Mecablast? Maybe this game is the Euro shooter Mecha, and that's why it's called that. But anyway. Where does Xenon 2 go on this list? Well, if we compare this to other space shooters, such as our beloved Dan Laser, is it as good as Dan Laser? No. Dan Laser had a crazy mode, and Xenon 2 just is crazy, but in a pejorative way. So it's worse than Dan Laser. It's worse than Volleyfire. Volleyfire was more original. You know, it didn't have a shop system, but it had one-on-one fights as a space shooter, and I can't really think of any other games like it. It's worse than Solar Striker. Solar Striker, I don't know, it was more rote, but it was a bit more... How do I describe Solar Striker? I mean, it felt a bit more solid in terms of just the actual game design. Like, you know, you got hit by a bullet once and then it just disappeared. Or you hit an enemy once and then it's like, okay, either you die or you take a hit and then move on, and that's it. It wasn't good, but it was better than this. It's worse than Boulder Dash. It's worse than that dodgy version of Paperboy. It's worse than Tesserae. It's worse than Wizards and Warriors Chapter 10. It's worse than Penguin Land. It's definitely worse than The Amazing Spider-Man. It's worse than Mario and Yoshi. But is it worse than the Snoopy game? We're already coming back to the Snoopy game, but is it worse than that? I mean, that game was way too slow. Xenon 2 is also slow, but I wasn't complaining about the slow speed. It was other things about the game I had problems with. It had the shop system. It had, okay, both games have a shop system, but the shop system in Snoopy was just a glorified way of collecting items that you don't use or anything. It was just to beat the level. It was like, okay, you have this item, and that item, its only purpose is to be a win condition at the end. Whereas the items in Xenon 2 at least did things. You actually used them. There was more to do in Xenon 2. And it was a lot less glacial. So I think it's better than Snoopy. Yeah, Xenon 2 Mecablast. It's better than Snoopy. I'll give it that. But we do still have one more game left to cover on this cartridge. So let's apply... We will not apply directly to the forehead. Instead, we're going to apply... let's go colour palette for this one. Hold on. I'm going to have to think about this. I'm going to have to look through... Like, what are the different colour palettes on display? I need one with, like, a green background, I think. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, teeny weeny games. Amazing. The legends of the video game scene. No, you know what? In this case, I think the default colour scheme will actually do. I think that may actually be the best one for this. So, let's play Goal. You know, it's going to be a great name with a name like that. Yes. Goal! For the Game Boy. Brought to us by good old Jellico. Well, let's see what it's like. Well, I'm done with this soundtrack already, I can tell you that. You know, actually, yeah, oh. No, apparently we got a white pitch. Well, it will do. So let's see. Player mode. So we've got the Super Cup, the Exhibition, and the Penalty Kick. Well, penalty kicks are, like, the worst, like, game concept I can think of. So we're going to go to Exhibition, I think. So, actually, no, should we do Exhibition, or should we do... No, well, I guess I'm already committed to it. So, Control... Oh, I see, because, yeah, it's a isometric game. Well, I'm going to go for Control 1, because Control 2 is confusing. So we've got fouls, offside, so you can turn those off. I like that. Goalie, I'll set that to auto. Yeah, that'll do. So, who have we got? So we've got England, so that's good. Can you then? So who are our choices? We've got, okay, Venezuela. You don't see them much in games. I mean, is Venezuela even in CONMEBOL? I think they are, but they're like the worst team in it usually. I was like, you can just about tell the difference between the Italian and French flags. Unfortunately, the lack of colour is a problem, I think. Also, I always found this weird. Why do they always call it Holland? Holland, you know, it'd be like if the England team was called Greater London. It doesn't make any sense. And, of course, you've got to have USA, even though the USA was never good at football. Not men's football. Women's football, they destroy everyone else at it, but... Well, we're going to go for everyone's favourite team, Denmark. Denmark versus Uruguay. Why not? Oh. Okay, so this is not a full 11-a-side match. This apparently is 8-a-side. You know, that classic. Or maybe 3 of the players got sent off on each team before the match started. Yeah. Like 2-2-3. Is that like 4 attack? Yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-3-2. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, the classic 2-3-2 formation. Bobby Robson's golden favourite. But you know, see my favourite players of all time. I mean, I'm quite fond of number 2, but you know, number 5. You know, he had a little bit of Monica in his life, a little bit of Erica by his side, and a little bit of Rita. Can't forget about that one. So 1, I assume, is the goalie, and okay, so we've got different stats. What are the stats? So block, jump, and so PP, is that stamina? I hope. So SP, I assume, is speed. KP, so KP and TP. I have no idea what those are. It's like, yeah, got the pair of nuts and toilet paper on my side. So, okay, apparently player 5 has just like crazy amounts of speed and not much else. But, okay. Yeah, and these 2 are apparently just not very good. Okay, we'll just go for that. A little bit of Redis. Oh, I remember that one. I do remember. Okay. Now, I do remember Goal 2 on the NES was fucking terrible, so I'm hoping this is better than that. So you want to go for heads or tails? Oh, I guess it picks for me. I guess Uruguay got to pick? Oh, here we go. That's mine. So... Or is it? It didn't seem to let me pick anything. Okay, so we're the team with the white shirts. They're the team with the red shirts. Oh. Welcome to Sam Allardyce's goal. Oh god, like... The ball has only been in the air the whole time. Okay, so... I'm trying to figure this out. So, how do I tackle? Because it's not the B button, so is it A button maybe? Nope, that was going out. Yep, the favourite beat combo of Jellico. Do you think there were enemies in Russian Beat that ended up being called Salt and Pepper? Oh, good. Wonderful. Yeah, I can see why you want to turn the vowels off. Sometimes they just get in the way. You know, I want to just be able to assault the other team. Just... yeah, just go full Millwall on them. You know what? This is better than Goal 2 on the NES, but that's also... well, it's about as fun as me playing football in real life when I had no idea how the rules worked. Ugh! Yeah, of course the ball, like, magnetizes to the other player's foot. Ugh. Yeah, there's a lack of precision to this. Also, I call bullshit on that. That was a clean tackle. Can I turn the fouls off? Is there a way to quit the game? Nope, they don't let you quit the game. You literally have to reset. If you want to quit. Also, I like that the penalty... like, they didn't even come up with a separate screen for it. They just, like, have the exact same view as just the regular game. Like, that would have taken too much effort to draw... like, most other, like, football games at the time at least had that. This doesn't even have that. It's one of those games where, like, it's impossible to get the ball because it just, like, magnetizes to the other players on the other team. And your players make no attempt to get the ball. Oh, look at this. They don't even try. It's like, yeah, we could get the ball, but that would have been too much effort. Yeah, I feel like the foul system... yeah, the fact that they allow you to turn that off is probably for the best. Because I feel like... yeah, the foul system is impeding my fun of this game. Okay, what happens if I pick this colour scheme? Maybe it looks better. Okay, we're going to play this again, but we're going to turn the... we're going to turn the fouls off, because the fouls can go sod off. Yeah, foul off, offside off. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay, this time we're going to go for... Bra versus USA. I wonder if it varies at all. Like, am I worse if I play as USA? Fine, we're going to go for Brazil versus USA. See if that affects anything. I'm going to go full defense, because it's impossible to get the ball in this one. Like, what does this do? Like, I literally can't do anything there. It's like... I have no idea what the coin toss does. It's like, we've programmed a coin toss into the game. We don't know how coin tosses work, but we knew how to program it. I was like, you look at how, like, choppy it is as well. Like, because I played, what was it, Soccer-Mania, which I think was also kind of choppy. But in that game, I was at least able to get the ball. Okay, well, at least turning the fouls off makes it less of a pain to play. Because at least now, I can just tackle the other players and then, like, not get, like, a card. Like, I don't care about it, like, following the rules of football. I'm just like... you know, if it makes it more fun to turn the rules off, I'm gonna just do that. Not that it helps, because I'm rubbish at the game anyway. But yeah, we don't care about that. Look at that! Like, the player actively runs away from the ball because, like, it instantly. I think that's the problem. Like, it switches to the player too early, and because of that, it like messes up your pass. Oh. I also like when the ball, like, magnetically gets attracted to the other players. Because, like, you see that it was clearly going past the goalie, but then it, like, warps to where the goalie is. Because that's totally how footballs work. You know, Peter Shilton, famed, of course, for his amazing telekinetic powers. Yeah, so it's like you have to let go of the D-pad, I think. have any chance at this. So like that, like okay, he clearly like palmed the ball out with his hand, then like it instantly like teleports to his foot. Oh, it's like you have to actively try to avoid touching the D-pad at all times to get anywhere with this. Unless you have the ball, but most of the time you don't. Okay, well, at least the game has the player move automatically if they don't have the ball. I do like that. I'll give him credit, actually. It's like, okay, listen, you dipshit. Let go of the D-pad, and it'll be fine. And I like that the slide tackles just don't work. It's like, okay, your slide tackles just magically pass through everyone on the other team. Ugh. I also make note of the fact that there's no difficulty option either. Like, okay, fucking Xenon 2 had a difficulty option. How does this not have one? I do like the players now look like zombies because it changed the colour palette. I don't know. It's kind of giving me similar feelings to the NFL game a little bit. Though, I mean, it's a simpler game than NFL, which may actually be a good thing in this case. It's more straightforward. At least I can get my head around this one easier. Also, yeah, we're not going to actually display the timer on screen at any point, because that would have taken up too much RAM, apparently. A nice little solo there. Oh, like, was that in the... Yeah, I guess that's part of the music. I couldn't tell if it was the music or a sound effect. Ooh. But you want a game that makes you fucking appreciate World Cup Italia 90 for the Mega Drive. Here you go. I don't know. I feel like this may be a more accomplished game than Soccer-Mania. It feels more complete, but it also feels like no more playable. In fact, this might be less playable than that game. Okay, well, I can do that at least. I mean, to be fair, part of this might just be me being rubbish at the game. Yeah, I think the fact that you only have 8 players on every team is not helping. Like, they probably should have made the pitch smaller. Maybe. Oh. Ugh! No, give me the ball. I demand the ball. Ugh! Because he fluffs it like a sod. Kick the... Kick the sodding ball. I don't care if you take his kneecaps out. Okay. Okay. See, like that, he just like passes through him. I don't know what's going on with that bit. I mean, the music's not too bad, I'll give them that. And to be, I mean, for what it's worth, this is still far better than Goal 2 on the NES. Like, that one, just getting the ball is almost impossible, let alone anything else. At least in this game, I can kind of get the ball. Yep, of course it overshoots the ball. And there's no way to, like, you know, control how far you kick. It's either a short kick or a far kick, and that's it. It's your only options. Like, literally you have 2 levels of power. You can't charge it or anything. I don't know. Like, the whole game just feels very half-baked. It's like, It's like, we did some of the basics of football, and then forgot to polish it. And we just called it a day. Oh, I got one. Okay. I have a goal. Oh. Well, you do see the crowd on that, you know, whenever someone scores. So it's not a completely empty void. This is not Intelligent Cube Football Edition. Of course, the problem is, if there's another player near the ball when you kick it, they always get it. As far as I'm aware, there's no way to get the ball. Just the AI is just gifted the ball every single time. And they kind of have an unfair advantage because of that. With rare exceptions. Well, there you go. Well, I think I'm just about done with that one. I mean, the cup mode, you know, they can't call it the World Cup because they get sued. Yeah, like saying it to manual is going to make this any easier. Oh, good. Well, I've already lost, you know, 15-0 before the game even starts. Yeah, the players are... yep, the players have gotten addicted to that, It's not Juul. Whatever the thing's called. Can't remember. Tobacco thing? It's not tobacco, but is. Okay, now he's just kicking the ball backwards because he's a dick. Okay. Well, anyway. I think I'll call it a day for goal 2. So, where does it go on this list? Is it better than Soccer Mania? Or Soccer Boy, or whatever we're going to call it. It's hard to say, because, I mean, Soccer Mania wasn't good, but it was... I mean, it was playable, but it had kind of an amateurish feel to it. Goal, at least, feels a bit more accomplished in that aspect. Like, there's a bit more going on. You've got the, you know, the Super Cup mode. You've got options, like, you've got the whole thing with the fouls and... Yeah, but, you know, there are other things missing. Like, you know, like the fact that the penalty kick just uses the exact same view as, you know, just any other goal kick or whatever. It just... There are some things missing that I feel maybe could have been in this and just aren't. So, yeah, I don't know. It's better than Soccer Mania, but maybe not by that much. It's one that might be fun if you've got a second player. It's better than Paperboy, because that is just not a good version of Paperboy. I mean, this is better than the goal that I played on the NES, so it's better than that. It's better than Head On, because fuck Head On. Like, I don't want to play Head On. I don't care if it's the arcade version or the Game Boy one, I just don't want to play it. It's better than Ranma 1/2, because that game was just barely comprehensible rubbish. Same for Lupin the Third, to be honest. But it's worse than Soul Striker. You know, Soul Striker was more well, it's not that it's more functional. It's that there's more to do. Actually, no, that's wrong. Because, okay, Soul Striker was 1 player, Goal was 2 player. Goal had more options. No, it's better than Soul Striker. I take it back, what I said earlier. But it's not as good as Parasol Hemby. Parasol Hemby... There was some interesting stuff going on with the levels. There was some variation there. It wasn't a good game, but there was something to like about it. But I don't necessarily want to play through the whole thing. But I think I'd play through that before I played through Goal. So yeah, I'd say... Yeah, that's where it belongs. So congratulations to our new Top 100 game, Goal, by Jellicoe, and of course Toze, because they worked on everything apparently. So anyway... I will take a quick break, so until then, don't go away, and I will put in another cartridge for you to appreciate, so don't go away. Hello again. Yes, I'm back. I just wanted to take a brief look at the Matchless 23-in-1 label, because I love how bad this art is. Like, it's like a collage of shite turned on its side, except they just like slapped a word art logo on there. It's like, it's such a terrible cover. It's just... Also, I like that it says new version for all GB, And it also says 23-in-1A. Like, was there a B version of this? I'd love to know what that version looks like. But next up on the list... Oh yes, the time has come. The greatest cartridge of them all. It's the mystery cartridge! I call it that because you don't know what it is from the label. Because there is none. Because I think the label fell off at some point. So, the mystery cartridge. What do you think is going to be on this? Well, we'll find out in a second. But it is a Game Boy Color cartridge. Oh, naturally worked first time. Wasn't expecting that. Slick black. The... Well, what do you think is going to be on it? Do you think some real classics? Well, guess what? It's the Super 138-in-1, featuring all your favourite games like Gargoyles, Mohammed, Beetlejuice, Pikachu Land, Dr. Mario, Alleyway, Gargoyles Act, Mohammed Muppe, Beetlejuice PR, Pikachu Land W. You know, all your favourites. I mean, who can forget the true classic, Mohammed Pin? Or better yet, you know, what about Dr. Mario God? Are you a god of Dr. Mario? I don't think so. Only one man can be the god of Dr. Mario. Just, I don't even know what to say about this. Yeah. It's just... Not much more to say about this menu. So these 3 games we've seen already. So I'm only going to do these 3 on the top because it's the ones we haven't seen yet. Dr. Mario Max. It's like Pepsi Max, but for video games. Okay, so let's see what this one's about. Gargoyles, now on your Game Boy. Yes. Are you ready for the world of the Gargoyles? Do you think it's based on the classic TV show? Well, the answer to that is no, because there was no Gargoyles game for Game Boy. No, the game that we... Oh, oops. The game that... I clicked on the wrong thing. The game that we are going to see here is the classic... Well, you'll see it when the title appears. In case you haven't guessed it already. Yes. Gargoyle's Quest! Ghosts and Goblins! Oh, that's a great sign, isn't it? Anyway, I'll press start so it doesn't keep flickering. Cow the Kangaroo. Oh yeah, everyone's favourite. Oh yes. So, let's see what Firebrand has to offer for us. Firebrand being that irritating red enemy from Ghosts and Goblins, if you don't know. Yeah, you thought it was the Disney Gargoyles, but like I say, there was no Gargoyles game for Game Boy. I think there was only ever one released on Mega Drive, and I've never played it, so I don't know if it's any good. But let's see what Firebrand has to offer. Well, so it looks like an RPG, then you go into it and it's not. It is a platformer. Of course, we've seen quite a few platformers on Game Boy already. But how depth do you think Firebrand is? So... Okay. Just give this a quick go. There we go. I got my extra power! I can't remember, there's that vial. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. So, unlike the other games I've covered so far, where I've just kind of played them as like a... I'll say first impression. Some of them I've played before. Oh, shoot. No, I can't. But yeah, unlike a lot of the other games where I've been just doing like first impressions or whatever, or, you know, first impression having not necessarily played them recently. Yeah, this game I actually... Oh, I actually did play this one for a good 2 or 3 hours off stream. Like, I think I played this for like 3 hours and just messed about with it. Not that you can tell from this gameplay, because well, it's some kind of rubbish. Though, actually, I think that's just because, well, when I stopped, I had a lot of like power-ups and such, and yeah, playing this without those power-ups is messing me up. So I'm just going to blame it on that. Oh, hold on. Okay, let's at least see if I can make some progress. I'm not going to play this game much on stream, because like I say, I played a lot of this game off stream, and, you know, I think I've played it enough to where I can kind of rank it properly. I think, anyway. Basically, I was taking the tack of, okay, I'm going to play this game until I get sick of it and feel like stopping and playing something else. And that point was, as I say, about 3 hours into the game, I think. So I didn't beat the game, but I think it gives me a good idea on how to go about ranking it, at least. Yeah, he's got like a Mega Man explosion. I don't know what's going on with that. You know, where the crossover comes in. Not sure. I mean, yes, this is Capcom, but still. You know, did Ryu ever blow up Mega Man style? I don't think he ever did. Maybe Ken did in that Street Fighter 2010 game, but... Ooh, here we go. Gotta get that timing down like this. Also, yeah, this is just the intro level. Fire brand! Yeah. But yes, I am well versed in the brand of fire. Again, not that you can tell. How long is this level? I remember this level being a lot shorter when I played it before. Unless I'm playing some weird version of it on this multi-cart. Because for what it's worth, I did play it, like, you know, on an emulator off stream, so maybe that's the difference. So I don't remember the level being anywhere near this long. So either I'm misremembering, or this is like a different version of the game to what I played. Oh, arse. Fine, you know what? We're going to take a different tactic, if the game allows me to do it. No. I thought maybe there was a quit option. See, these games never have a quit option, ever. It's like, you want to quit? Well, fuck you, we're not going to let you quit. You want to quit, you can turn your Game Boy off. And then on again. Fine, we'll do it in black and white. Can I skip the intro? Well, I can do that. Okay, let's try this again, because I don't feel like doing that level again. Yeah. Here's the secret. Because I'm just going to skip the start of the game, because I don't feel like doing it. So here we go. So let's get to the actual meat of this game. Oh, Digimon 3 Crest. You know, I don't have that multi-cart anymore. I think it died. Like, yeah, because I think the multi-carts I don't have anymore, they're the ones that just don't work. They just stopped working. So you get these random encounters, which are kind of an interesting novelty at first, though I'm not going to lie, they do kind of feel like a waste after a while. So you get vials for them, but like after a while you just don't really care to collect them anymore. And like literally the only reason I was doing these is because the game forces you into them. Very much a but thou must situation. You can't just quit because the game doesn't work like that. There we go. Oh, hold on. Did he trigger the quest thing that you're supposed to do? Yeah, because you go in here. You talk to the demon of this town, who looks a lot like the boss from Ghosts and Goblins, I think, like the devil or whatever it is. No, I guess I... Oh. You know what? Just to show this off. Yeah. Check. But yeah, so basically what I've done here is I've upped my stats quite a bit, because I think they all start at 1 at the beginning, and you have to get past those first couple levels to get halfway... Well, I say halfway decent stats, improved stats, let's say that. Though, you can get them above this level that I'm at right now, so it doesn't give you everything, but it gives you more at least. Okay, so we're going to cross the bridge. Yeah, this is what happens when you cross the bridge, by the way. You have to not get killed by the fire. Probably easier than it could have been because of the password I used, but you know. I didn't use this password when I was trying to play through it, by the way. I did try to play through it without using those. But I do want to show off this next level. Because it may be important to the ranking of this game. So I think when I stopped playing, I got up to like a maze section. And then there was like another level after that, and I just... yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. The game basically forces you into these sections that, again, just kind of eat your time. It's like, we made the game too short, so we need to add these whole bunch of, like, extra rooms that only exist just to eat up your time, basically. Because, you know, because given the choice, I wouldn't bother doing those bits at all. Like, after the first couple areas, at least. Oh. Oh, do I get to do these sections? I guess, you know, it's a case where I've got the items already, so it doesn't let me. But, yeah. So there are a whole bunch of, like, main levels that have boss fights and everything. Where this game gets into the actual levels with this password, I don't know. I'd probably use one of the passwords that I'd gotten during my play session, but can't be arsed. And yeah, I'm going to be lazy with these screens anyway, because you get your health back when you do them anyway, so it's like, whatever. If I take one hit, or 2 hits. Yeah. But yeah, like, I'll try to quit on this one, and the game just basically tells me to sod off. I don't know, like, these parts seem fine at first, but again, they get old pretty quickly. You know, like, I was playing this for, you know, about 3 hours, and I'm pretty sure by the hour-and-a-half mark I was done with them. Here we go, so let's see what this level looks like. I mean, this looks like a level that would have been in Mega Man. For what it's worth. Get over some place out there. So you got fish to avoid, I think? Yeah, so like the fish skeletons that try to kill you. Also, if you go at the bottom of the screen, you die. Like that. Just inexplicably goes, like, appears in front of the water and then just dies for no reason. And that's about it, really. So yeah, the talisman... I think the talisman's the extra lives, aren't they? I can't remember, but I think that's what they were. But yeah, so we go into this town. Talk to Zombie Man, I think. But yeah, there are bosses in the game as well. Well, yeah, so the vials, I think you use them to get extra lives. Like, you swap them for those. So I'll go into this room. What is this room for? Oh, yeah, this is the room where you get your password. And you do get the passwords for free, so, you know. Game definitely gets credit for that. This is not a short game, I don't think. You know, there are quite a few different parts to it. So having a password system definitely helps. What is this room? Oh yeah, this is the room where you trade the vials. So yeah, exchange 8 vials for a talisman. So yeah, like I said, the talismans are the extra lives. And it says that. I don't know why, but yeah, if you take a look on the level, so the level box on the top left, that's your stats, basically. The higher those are, the better your platforming is, basically. The items, I think they're for like quests or whatever. Some of them just improve your stats. The Buster magic, can I select that actually? That might be important to do. Also, yeah, so 7 talismans, that's how many lives I have. The vials, you just trade those for lives. I don't think they have any other purpose, or if they do, I didn't get to that point in the game. Hold on, let's go to a side-scrolling bit. Unless there's something else to do here first. No, this might be it. Like, I talked to this thing. Oh yeah, that's right, so you have to rescue him from the cave, I remember this. So we talk to this thing. Hold on, can I change my weapon? Or my attack, whatever. Yeah, here we go. So the Buster, I think, it just does more damage than the regular attack. This is probably what you're going to end up using for much of the game. There is a third one that you can use to break through walls. But there are certain things that you have to use the Buster on. I don't understand how it works. Oh, also, if you check this... Oh. Yeah. So I think if you check there normally, that's where you have to find one of the items to be able to progress in the game. So I remember doing that by accident, and well, not by accident, but I remember doing that by chance, and then it's like, oh, here's this thing you need to progress in the game. That was cool. Do you think this compares to the James Bond game that we looked at last time? I don't know. Like, what makes more sense? James Bond going around various parts of the world doing menial tasks and just giving items to people? Or Firebrand? But actually, he's not really doing that. He's just kind of... I mean, there's a lot more platforming in this than what you're seeing in this stream. What is this room? I don't remember this one. A foreign army attacked here. Great. Could it be the someone? Great translation. It's about as good as Commando on the NES, you know, broke the first area. Yeah, so I think the thing where I searched, that's where the wings are, but I guess I already have them. That's why I said I didn't find anything. Oh, no, this is the password room. I don't care about that. And, oh, there's nothing here. Ooh. Is there another level here somewhere around here? Maybe? Can't remember what to do on this bit. I only played it recently. Shows how bad my memory is, I suppose. Yep, here we go. Forced combat bollocks that you don't care about. Yeah, this is it. Just mash the button and win. Or die, because the enemy takes 50 billion shots. Well, if it lets me skip that bit, then I'll take it. So yes, the Soul Stream. I can't remember what that does. No relation to the Soda Stream, I assume. Because that seems statistically unlikely. Great. You want to bet? Got stuck on the walls. Yep, here we go. Great. Double KO, which, being a Capcom game, means you lose. Oh, and of course you have to face the thing to talk to as well. Great. Yeah, so you think you could just use fire to go through the weeds? I mean, you'd think. Here we go. There's a bridge level. See what this looks like. Oh, can't see where I'm going. Can I even make this? Do I have the item to get through to this bit or not? No. Maybe I'm missing something, because I did this fine. I did it before. And the game's just like, no. Okay. Well, whatever. Like I say, it's a game that I did play quite a bit off stream because I knew I was going to be at it for ages either way. But what you don't see is there were a lot of interesting boss fights. Yeah, tell don't show. But yeah, there's some interesting boss fights in there. A lot of like quests that you have to do. I don't think there's really any side stuff, which is like whatever. Not the sort of thing I'd do anyway. But yeah, graphics are pretty good. I mean, especially for like 1990. I mean, it's a really good looking game. It definitely feels more technically accomplished than DuckTales, despite the fact that that game came out like later that same year, I think. But is it better than DuckTales? Because the music is definitely better. It doesn't have that like flanginess that DuckTales on Game Boy has. The levels are a lot less cramped, which definitely helps. Like having horizontal and vertical scrolling at the same time, that definitely plays in its favor. But the like random encounters, they get old after a while, and it's kind of like you'd want to skip them, but the game doesn't let you because it's an arse. And I remember the second level being particularly just kind of a bastard as well, where it's like you know, it's like jumps out very little room for error, and the level's quite large, and you have maybe like 1 or 2 checkpoints at most. In fact, I think it is just 1 checkpoint from what I remember. And I think I came close to quitting at that point, but now I was just like, whatever. The bosses are interesting, though I have to say, the thing about Gargoyle's Quest, what made me stop playing it, was there was one level in the game where you have to... What was it? You have to go through some caves, and there are some spikes protruding from the walls, and they go in and out of the wall, but they go in for like a split second, you know, maybe like 2 frames, and the game just doesn't give you enough time to get by the spike without getting hit. So it's like you literally have to damage boost your way through the level just to get through it, and yeah, it just didn't feel fair at that point. Like, the rest of the game up to that point was fine, but the game kind of lost me at that point. It's like, okay, well, how are you meant to dodge this? And I tried looking up answers online, and it's like, no, you just damage boost for it. It's like, great, thanks. Wonderful. And yeah, that was kind of where I stopped playing. So, yeah, it loses points for that. But I do like the password system. It's definitely better than DuckTales. It's better than Miss Pac-Man. As much as it pains me to say that a Ghosts and Goblins spin-off is better than Miss Pac-Man, in this case it's true, because it's just not a great version of it. It's better than Puzzle Boy 2, or Amazing Tater, whatever you want to call it. It's better than Yos' Revenge, the Kotal Ultimatum. But is it better than Felix the Cat? See, Felix the Cat only had that one bullshit jump at the beginning. Gargoyle's Quest is a lot more in-depth than Felix the Cat. Like, there's more to it. There's a lot more length. But did I have more fun with that game? I probably had a similar amount of fun, but I spent more time on it, so I'd say it probably puts it above Felix the Cat. It's better than Penguin Wars. But it's not better than Drop Zone. Drop Zone, you know, the Archer McLean special. Drop Zone is just great. And it's not quite on the level of that. Even if the Game Boy Color version is better, I think I would still take it over Gargoyle's Quest. But, you know, still pretty good. Gargoyle's Quest, it goes pretty high on the list. And you number 24. What do you think? Okay, well, here's a game that I did not prepare for before this stream. The classic game, Muhammad the Game. What do you think about this one? Amazing sound effect, by the way. What's a good colour palette for this one? Let's go for the red, just because. Yeah, I think that is true. You know, Felix the Cat, you could just play the NES version. And there is no NES version of Gargoyle's Quest. There is a NES version of Gargoyle's Quest 2, but not for the first one, which is a bit strange. But here we go. Virgin Games is in the house tonight to bring us... Oh no, that sound. Oh! Oh. Could they have made that any louder? Ooh. Yeah. Rest in peace, Muhammad Ali. He was the greatest. He stung like a butterfly, and he stung like a bee. And he flew like a... Oh. Maybe this wasn't such a great colour palette for this game. Oops. So, this is not the first boxing game we've looked at in this series, because I did look at another game just called Boxing, and that game was surprisingly really good. So let's see. Oh, oh, the music. Oh, Lord, the music. Okay. So what have we got? So you can... That's a bit weird. 3 and 8 rounds? You can't set it to a full 15. That's... Actually, it's 12 or 15 at this level. I don't remember. Oh, we got the training mode. Let's see what that's about. Select next opponent. It doesn't tell you who they are. Like, who are these people? So I assume I'm playing as Muhammad Ali. And then it's just a bunch of fictional opponents. It's like, who are these people? It's like, okay, you've got Rocky Marciano. You've got Richard Roundtree as the Shaft. And Evander Holyfield, I think. Well, I like Shaft. He had the best theme song of all time. Slammin' Stevens. Is he any relation to Shakin' Stevens? I think he could hold his own in the ring. But, what do we do? So we've got Stormin' Norman. Ah, yes. Norman Schwarzkopf. You know, after the first Iraq War, you know, he wanted to celebrate by becoming the new Rocky Balboa. But yeah, we got Stormin' Norman, and we've got Brawling Kelly. It's like Jim Kelly. Actually, what are their stats? Because that might actually be important for a game like this. So I'm guessing Stormin' Norman is the one to go up against first, since he's kind of the default character to fight. So it says there was like a management thing, but I don't see that anywhere. Okay, so so Muhammad Ali is on the right. Okay, how do I block? I don't know what the block button is. Is it... No. I literally have no idea how to block in this. There's no button for that. It's like, A throws a right punch and B throws a left punch, I think? Maybe if I hold... No. I was thinking maybe if I hold down both buttons at the same time, but... No, it doesn't do that. Come on, Ali! You're only the greatest boxer to ever live. Oh, okay, if I hold back, sometimes it blocks. Okay, I think I kind of get it. Yeah, it's got like Tekken style blocking. It's like you got block high or low, depending on what type of attack they're doing. But the attacks are so fast you can't really react. You just have to hope that you block correctly. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to do different types of punches, and it's not really working. So I think if I press like back, yeah, like back and punch, and forward and punch, it does like different types of punches. I think. Just kind of learning this as I go. This doesn't have that like first-person view that boxing had. I do like the rotating ring though. That's kind of cool. I think the like this was also on the Mega Drive, and that had kind of the same thing going on. I never played that game, so I don't know if it's any good, but I mean, it kind of looks impressive in a way. Like, because it's going pretty fast. Like, considering that you got that rotating ring the whole time. I do like that. I'm not so sure about the combat, though. like, I don't know, maybe if you're, like, big into boxing sims, this would be more your thing. I never was. I was more of a Mike Tyson punch-out guy. I wasn't good at that game either, but I could get somewhere with it. For a second, I thought I was about to ring out. He was going to, like, somehow walk through it. But yeah, I get the feeling there's a strategy to this that I'm missing, but I don't know what. I guess being cornered on the end of the screen is probably not the best strategy, really. Also, what does the time mean? Is that just, like, time before the... Yeah, before the round ends, maybe? Okay. So there's Ali on the left. Did they, like, mirror his face? What's going on there? So I've thrown more punches and a lot less of them have landed. So I guess it's like you have to be in a specific... Well, no, I think he was just blocking most of them now that I think about it. Oh. I mean, the animation's pretty good, to be fair. There's not really much in the way of sound, though. You'd think they'd have, like, an audience or something like that. Okay, well, I've definitely knocked off quite a bit of his health. Like, as you look on the indicator on the bottom. But the thing is, so you try to, like, hit high or low, but he ends up just blocking all of them. It's like, I can't figure out how to... Oh, that worked. But for, like, a brief second, I had it. Now I've lost it. Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You wanna try to fuck with me? Someone's definitely used that line in a song somewhere. I don't know what song, but... I'm amused by the boxes being green, though. It's like two jolly green giants fighting each other. Ho hum, I hear the jolly green giants coming to... No, I've forgotten what the lyrics are already. But I just always think of, like, that 50s video. Like, that video from the 50s. Like, the terrifying Jolly Green Giant ad. Oh! Come on, knock him down. Do it! I want to see what happens. Combo! There we go. This is for Iraq! Okay. He's gonna get up. No, I win! Oh! Oh, that is a face! That is a pog, if I ever saw one. Oh god. That's like Muhammad Ali getting ready to swallow an entire bull. So how is he ranked 29th? Injuries very light. Oh, I see. So, yeah, there's kind of a progression to it. I was like, wait, he's won 11? So he had 10 fights before this and he's still only 29th. Wait, actually, what are these names? No, I need to see these names. So we have Stormin Norman, Tony D-Terminator. He's ready to determinate. Maybe he's just the world's biggest fan of Lemonade Mouth. Who knows? Virgil T. Bird. Like, what even are these names? Like, Rumblin' Rifkin? Buster D. Cannon. It's like Mega Man in disguise. Oh no, it won't let me take a look at the other names. I want to see the other names, but it won't let me scroll up. Bruno Franco. Oh yeah, we totally original, we promise. So Stormin Norman's down. Slamming Stevens. So I don't get how the statistics work. Ah, here we go, I see. So, yeah, we do the training with all these things. So it's kind of... Okay, punch bag, skip rope. I'm guessing that's stamina, maybe? So we've got sparring, road work training? Oh, is it just going to start just doing road works? Weight training. Yeah, we want to go for the heavy punch bag. Heavy punch bag. Skip rope. So that, yeah, so the stamina goes up. We have a bit of sparring. So we got right jab, right hook, left body blow, and knockout punch. Yeah, I want to... I will see, so combo... So it's left, right, left... No, right, left, right. And then KO. So we go... Right, yeah. Actually, that sounds fine. Go for the knockout punch. Okay, so that increases stamina. That increases accuracy? How does that work? Okay, which one increases speed? I would have thought it'd be the one with the shoes on it, but I guess not. I mean, it can't be any of the other ones, surely. Yeah, I have no idea which one of these increases speed. Is it small punch bag? Maybe it's like punch speed? I would have thought it was like movement speed, but okay. I do find that funny. It's like Bruno... Yeah, Frank Bruno versus Frenchy France. Okay, so this also has passwords. Yeah, it probably is small punch bag. Because I was thinking it was like movement speed. But I think it's actually punch speed. So I think this character has a different sprite to the other one. So I'll give him credit for that. But I also noticed that my power meter is like lower than the other one. But I also noticed it goes down as I punch, so maybe if I just avoid punching for a while, it goes back up. But I haven't quite figured out like how to do different types of punches. It just kind of does whatever. Yeah, it's like the it's like that left that left straight jab seems to get him every time. So as long as I focus on the B button. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, this character has like higher stats than the last one. I don't know. Was the Mega Drive version of this any good? Because I've heard people say it's good, but like I said, I just never played it. I know there was a version that was meant to come out on the SNES and then it didn't. It's like there's like a half-complete prototype out there, like a kind of a preliminary one. I don't think they had Bruno Franco in it though. Oh, okay. So that's how I do an uppercut. I have to hold. No. Okay, well, it worked earlier. I was like, okay, I was holding up and pressed A. Here we go. Good. I love the other character's face, though. He's got, like, the world's worst goatee. Oh, I got him in the corner! Except I keep getting hit. That's not really helping. Yeah, the AI is just going really aggressive now. Ooh. Kind of like button mashing with this one. I don't know. I found the other boxing game to be kind of more interesting, to be honest. In terms of how it played. Like, again, that whole, like, first-person view. This game doesn't really have that. Oh! I've got him in a combo! There we go. Oh! Bastard. Yeah. Ref! You know when the man goes down, it's time to count. Okay, it is not time. to end the round. I don't care if the timer ran out. Okay, I'm trying to do that punch that was working earlier. Maybe I have to get closer? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Try to fuck with the best. There we go. Oh, and the screen went off. Okay, it's back. That face gets me every time, I'm sorry. Like, oh. Like, you try to box against a man who can make a face like that? Ooh. See, I've only got light injuries. Oh, Big Mike Glazecki, Eliminator Joe. No relation to Himalaya Joe. Wait, who are these? Okay, this is Tony D. Terminator. And then we've got the other two again. Okay, let's see what Tony D. Terminator's about. Okay, let's try to get our speed up. Okay, yeah, so that increases speed. But it's kind of weird they have 5 different ones. Maybe one of them increases like 2 stats. Okay, stamina is maxed. I guess weight training is power. But we need greasy, fast speed! There we go. So I think my stats are pretty solid now. Look at this. Yeah! Okay. So I got max accuracy and I got max stamina. I think this is something that Qbert said one time. They had to censor it. Okay, let's see what Tony's all about. Does anyone remember the SNES version of this where it opens? It's like Muhammad Ali's about to eat you. Oh. Okay, I think this dude hits like a truck. But like my stamina comes back again super quick though. Like it's weird. It's like you gain it back after about 5 seconds. Look at this. I just get him in the corner and I just wail on him and win. It's like, yeah, it may be the 90s, and, you know, Muhammad Ali may have retired, but oh, come on, do the combo. There we go. Yeah, it's got a bit of that. Hard to say which one looks more violent though. There we go. There we go. Muhammad Ali wails on a man in the corner and then wins. Yeah. You have been terminated. I apologise on behalf of Arnold Schwarzenegger for that one. See, look at that. No, don't even have any injuries. That's pretty good. See, I have won. I've won all. Hitman Capelli. Speedy Richaz. Okay. See what we got here? Wait. Oh, select? Wait. What does sell do? Okay, it just comes up with this. Oh, wait, what? Oh, here's the rogues gallery. Wait, who are these people? So, okay, we've got DMX. We have a rhino who got his wish to turn into a man. We got, I think, Zangief. We got Ice-T. What I think looks like Gomez Adams. Okay, that's just Mike Tyson. And is that Big Pun? Like, who is this? Okay, I can't even hazard a guess as to who that is. It looks like an extra from like Bad Boys. Okay, that's is that Vander Holyfield? Can't even tell. No, this one's more like Evander Holyfield. This is Mirrored Man. This is like... This is Joe Hoops. Like, they took Joe Hoops and stuck him on the Game Boy. See, I can't wait for the re-release of this game. You know... Hoops Heavyweight Boxing. Let's see, we have... an Ember of Debauch. Okay, that's just the man from the top right, except he has a slightly different beard. Okay, that is... It's not like... I can't even tell. He has like a coin for a face. See, we've got an extra from Shaft. Like, why is he so zoomed in? I have no idea. Okay, is that Uncle Phil? With like a weird haircut? Is that Dr. Dre, I think? Like, who even are these? Like, I think that was that one bloke from the Chicago Bears. Yeah, the one that they called Sweetness, and he was like the dance. And yeah, so we got Storm and Norman again. You know, let's... Mickey the Madman. See, Hitman Cabal. Sorry, that just looks like Razor Ramon. So let's go up against... Oh, I have to use a password. Or no, I have to use the purse, I guess. How does that work? I don't know. Time to post fight 8. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, I think I'll rank this game here. I don't think there's a whole lot more to show. But, yeah, Muhammad Ali Boxing. Where does it go on this list? I mean, it's got some of the best faces. I can't argue with that. Like, the faces in this are unmatched. But is it better than Heavyweight Championship Boxing? Because that one's really good. Surprisingly really good for a Toze game as well. Muhammad Ali has the better faces. But I think Boxing had the better gameplay. It had that weird sort of first-person view, which is quite interesting. You know, it's like you go, you know, you run around on the overworld little thing, and then you go close up, and then you start trying to box. And, like, I think I preferred how that played. Whereas the Muhammad Ali game, I'm not sure there's that much in the way of strategy. It's got the whole thing with the training, and I do appreciate that. Like, there is something to the game that you don't really get with this, but I think Heavyweight Championship Boxing plays better. So, it's not as good as that. It's not as good as Motocross Maniacs. I'm not entirely sure there's that much in the way of strategy in the fights. It's not as good as Gargoyle's Quest. It's not as good as Felix the Cat. I'd rather play Yar's Revenge, The Kotile Ultimatum, and Pinball Revenge of the Gator. It's not as good as Mr. Do. You know, Mr. Do had that weird remix music. You know, there was something going on with Mr. Do. And DuckTales, for its faults, that's one that I'm kind of willing to go back and try to play through. And Space Invaders, well, it's nowhere near as good as the European version of Space Invaders on Game Boy. But I think it is better than the Japanese version, because that version is just kind of lacking in features, comparatively speaking. It's like, you may as well just play the other version. So it's better than Space Invaders. So congratulations to our new top 40 game, Muhammad Ali Boxing, for the Game Boy. There is a third game on this cartridge to take a look at. And it is, of course, the classic Beetlejuice. Let's go for some funny colours for this one. Yeah, this will do. Yeah, they're releasing a new Beetlejuice film. It's just called Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. Which is weird. You think it would have said Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. But maybe they're planning on a third one at some point. But yeah. Beetlejuice on Game Boy. God, the fact they're releasing a new one is just crazy to me. Also, yeah, I think this is based on the cartoon show, which I've never seen. I have no idea if it's any good. So because I remember Lydia was like the goth girl in the film. who is able to, like, see the dead couple. But I don't know if any of the other characters from the film are in this. But, like, why is it trying to converse with Beetlejuice? Because, like, Beetlejuice was the villain in the film. You know, like, everyone else was kind of against him. So I don't really get that. So, yeah, what are you supposed to do here? I don't know. But here we go. Beetlejuice in his house. Actually, I don't know if it's his house or if it's someone else's house, but yeah, here we go. Beetlejuice versus a pair of tights. God, it's just like the is it the boss fights from that Nightmare on Elm Street game on the NES? Which I mean, kind of makes sense. It's made with the same people. Like somewhere between that and like the Barbie game. Yeah, see, I never saw the cartoon. I've only ever seen the film. Of course, every single enemy in this game is a bullet sponge. It doesn't matter if it's like a cup of coffee. It'll still take 1 billion shots to kill. Oh, here we go. We just decided to give the enemy a bunch of free hits. Because we're rare. And that's just how we do. Oh, and of course there's another thing you have to fight after that, wouldn't you? Okay, I'm amazed those little bubbles don't kill you instantly. Let's think about Rare. Like, they did so much contract work back in the day, and very rarely was it any good. I don't know. I mean, like, what good Rare 8-bit games are there? Like, Slalom's pretty good. Aussie Pro-Am. I quite like Wizards and Warriors, like the first one. The sequel's not so much, but, you know, that first one, I'll stand up for that game. But I don't know, were there any good licensed games from Rare? I can't think of any. Actually, no, the Nightmare on Elm Street game, that game was alright. It had like a weird sort of 4-player co-op thing, which is not something you saw much of on the NES. Yeah, I remember the NES Beetlejuice game not being very good. I do have to say that. Here we go. So, welcome to the kitchen, I think. Yep, wonderful design there, lads. Amazing. You know, 10 out of 10. Okay, I do remember what you're supposed to do here, though. You have to, like, knock the things falling from the cabinets into this thing on the left. Like this boss character, whoever it is. I did play this a bit off stream recently, so I've got some frame of reference of what to do. Not that it helps. I mean, this is like a Rare licensed game, so don't expect much in the way of playability, basically. Captain Skyhawk. I don't know, I remember Captain Skyhawk wasn't great. Probably one of the lesser shoots on the NES. I mean, it's one of the more distinctive ones, but yeah, I mean, you get stuff like this, where it's like, oh, you just slide into an enemy and you can't dodge it. So I was trying to jump there and the game doesn't let you. Yeah, and like, why does every enemy take multiple hits to kill anyway? Like, okay, a plate should not take 15 hits. Or even 2 hits. Like, 2 is too many. Not to mention that, of course, it's got like irregular pattern bullshit, just like Xenon 2. But at least Xenon 2 was like, okay, you're like a spaceship trying to shoot at asteroids. In this game, I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing? Okay, Beetlejuice going around attacking plates. Like, that's the best they could do with a concept. Like, where even is this? Is this meant to be the mansion from the film? Because, again, I've never seen the cartoon, so I don't know. Also, I love when games have, like, cheap... Okay, here's a thing where you crash into the enemy for no reason. Because the level designer was a git. Also, yeah, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do there? And, like, why is it designed like that? I don't get it. Yeah, totally fair when I can't actually attack upwards. Also, yeah, continues are for amateurs, according to Rare. Like, you don't need continues. What do you think this is, a video game? Also, is this that, like, tune from the end of the film? Yeah, there was that one, like, weird bit at the end of the film with a song. I never quite got that bit, but whatever. Like, what is the point of this? Like, why even... Like, why is the washer even here at all? Because I can't do anything with this. It's just, okay, guess what, arsehole? You're just not allowed to attack for, like, 15 seconds. Because we're Rare. And we are the premier in game design. God, it's a wonder that Rare was even allowed to make games after, like, 1991. I mean, they did make some good games after this, so... But, yeah, suffice to say, this is not one of them. Also, yeah, this boss, you want to talk monotony? Yep, this is monotony. Because you have to hit this boss about 20 times, like, literally. And your fire rate is so slow, you can only fire one bullet on screen at a time, and you have to wait about half a second after the bullet's gone before you can fire another one, I think. It's certainly not quick enough, I can tell you that. But yeah, basically the rule of thumb is if it's a licensed game and Rare made it, it's probably shite. So... But hey, this colour palette works pretty well for the game. It's as good as this game's ever going to look, I think. Unless someone went to the effort of making a colour, like, DX ROM hack, but... Yeah, I won't count on it. I mean, for what it's worth, this is at least more creative than the NES game. So I think there is at least that going for it. But then you have stuff like this, where it's like... Because you can't attack upwards, even though it looks like you should be able to. But you can't. The game just doesn't let you. You know, and I can see what they were trying to do. It's like, okay, here's a bunch of, like, weird minigame things. But these are, like, minigames that you would expect to find in, like, you know, like a platformer. But these are, like, the entire game. I don't know. There we go. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's like they... It is kind of like a game that feels like it was designed by Beetlejuice. I'll give it that. Like, it feels kind of appropriate. Like, do you think Beetlejuice was working on the Rare team? So I wouldn't bet against it. But this is a problem that, like, Rare games had sometimes, where it's, like, conceptually, you're like, okay, well, why is it like this? Oh, also a great hit detection right there, too. Also, it's like, sometimes those ghosts do damage, and sometimes they don't. It's just kind of arbitrary. Like there, like, okay, so that time it did damage, but, you know, the previous time it didn't. I was like ghost, you know what I mean. But were there? No, there were ghosts in Beetlejuice, like, because like the dead couple, they were ghosts. Or no, hold on, I'm misremembering. I'm thinking of, I might be thinking of Ghost, the Patrick Swayze movie. It's been a while. Also, yeah, how you meant to avoid getting hit on that bit, I have no idea. It's like literally impossible. And then you got this bit that only exists to eat up time. It's like, oh, you have to guess which stairs don't make the stairs collapse. But again, it is like a but why moment. It looks like, you know, you could do this, but why do you do this? Oh, here we go. It's like Face Maker. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. It's like the dancing monster. I remember this. Yes, like Simon Says, kind of. I did get a bit further in this. Not much further, but... There we go. Beetlejuice wins! He cannot be stopped. Because he's got it going on. But yeah, I can sit here all day and wait for the stairs to come back. Hold on, which room is this? Is this the Pipe Mania level? I do remember there being a Pipe Mania level in this. I like how they try to write this as if it was like Michael Keaton saying it. Oh, hold on. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so here we go. So you just like swap the tiles about. Yeah, this is it. So again, it's basically, you know, glorified Pipe Mania. That's about it, really. There we go. I win! So, you know, there is at least some variety to this, if nothing else. But then, stuff like this, where it's just, you know, you have to take a random guess and hope for the best. And then, like, these stairs are a big problem, because, you know, the coins come down, but they're in a random pattern. You can't possibly predict it. And, yeah, it's just completely arbitrary as to how you get hit. There's no way to defend yourself. So, it's just kind of like, okay, if you take a hit here, well, fuck you, you're taking the hit. Wonderful. They are possessed. Hold on. What was this level? I don't remember this one. Oh, yeah, this is the one where you have to collect the drops. And don't collect the flashing ones, I think. I think that's how this works. I think this is where I got game over when I played it before. Beetlejuice found in Leicestershire? I thought we'd see the day. Wait, what happened? Okay, I pressed the A button and he just disappeared. Wonderful. Oh, so the A button jumps? But why would I ever do that on this level? Okay, now there's just a boss. With projectiles you cannot dodge. Wonderful. Okay, well I think I get it. What is this thing I'm fighting anyway? I don't remember this. I don't remember this from the movie. Oh, I did it. Oh god, it is Mega Droplets, isn't it? You're right. I wish you wasn't. But no, you are right. Yeah, I think that's the strategy for getting past the stairs. You just try to avoid them as much as possible. Try to skip them. Oh! What is this? See at least 2 spooks up here? Great. There is like an Action 52 feel to that, a little bit. The white sheet needs a burning with a candle. Great. Well, it all just... Yeah, they forgot to put the apostrophe in there. That's great. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. It's like, yep, you open this treasure chest, now you die. Because that's how fairness works. I don't know. Do you think there was like... Do you think there was someone at Rare who was just very didactic? Like that was their goal? Like, You know, we want these games to represent the futility of life. Can I go in this door? Yes. You know, if I say Beetlejuice 3 times, will it, like, despawn this game from existence? Like, what is this? Okay, I don't get it. Oh, it's kind of like that boss fight from Super Mario World, but not. It's like I'm fighting Wendy Cooper. Okay, how many times do I have to do this? Oh. Hooray! One up obtained. So what do I do here? It's like, okay, grab on the ladder. Okay, well, at least the ladders don't have that same bollocks that the stairs had on the first level. Of course, the thing booms in on you as well. Like, am I supposed to open the treasure chests or just avoid them? Is it like a ghost and goblin, or a ghouls and ghosts situation? I don't know. Okay. But what is this? I thought this was a door, but no, it's just a thing that's in the way. Okay, so we got stereotypical bedsheet ghost. Is that it? Okay, let's go up. Hold on, what happens if I shoot the candle? Nothing at all. What is this? We gotta say spook in the box. It's gonna be a jester. Spot the spook. For a second I thought it was talking about Spot the 7-Up mascot. The Biz. Biz Marquee. Yeah, I'm just picking one at random, I don't really care. Okay, how does this game work? I don't get it. Okay, I got that one. So it's just, okay, whatever the last frame it appears on is. Okay, well, yeah, good luck playing this on a real Game Boy screen. It'd be literally impossible, because of the way the blurring is. It's like, we didn't really design this with the Game Boy screen in mind, even though this is 1991, and the Game Boy Pocket didn't exist yet. I mean, even on the GameCube, playing this on Game Boy Player, I don't think it really works the way they intended it, because sometimes it works, but then sometimes it's like, the last frame is invisible. Like, I don't really get it. Oh yeah, kids were clamoring for the Super Game Boy just so they could play Beetlejuice on the Game Boy. You think I'd lose a life if I don't get the extra life? I feel like that's the kind of thing they would do. Oh, just in time. Okay, so what am I actually supposed to do? Okay, so I'll do that. Like, what even is this thing that I'm fighting against? It's like a McDonald's mascot. Wait, hold on. Is this like some fucked up version of Lemmings? Like, am I meant to be guiding these things to something? I don't get it. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Nope, that's just a pit. Even though there haven't been any pits up until this point. Also, you can go through these bricks even though it looks like you shouldn't be able to. Yeah, I'm just going to keep climbing upwards, see if anything happens. So I can't go outside the... Yeah, it's the Krusty game all over again. Yeah, I don't think I ever played the Krusty game. Yeah, I'm breaking out. Okay, we gotta get the show on the road. Except I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do on this bit. I don't think the game really explained it entirely clearly. Okay, seriously, what am I supposed to do here? It's like the game... It's like... Okay, we just changed up the objectives for a laugh. Unfortunately, we didn't really know what to do. It's like, okay, here's a ladder to nowhere. Oh, what's that? Yep, of course the enemy takes like 15 hits. Wait, what am I supposed to do here? Because I thought I was supposed to destroy the treasure chest, but I guess not. It's like, no, you can't do that. I don't know. Do you think this is better or worse than the NES game? I feel like both are incomprehensible, but for different reasons. Like, what even is this thing? Like, what does it do? Why can I destroy some of them, but not other ones? Like, this looks like a window, but I can stand on it. So apparently it's not a window. Okay, let's see if I can try to figure this out. So let's get to climb the ladder. Do I get to the top of the... Go to the top of the level? Here we go. Try not to get killed by the ghost. No, it doesn't work, does it? Yeah, I literally don't get it. See, the problem is it turns back before it gets to... Is this what I'm supposed to do? Also, you can't duck and shoot, because it's one of the games that doesn't let you do that for reasons. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that sums it up pretty well. It's like, okay, we turned this into a really incomprehensible version of Lemmings because of... See, I think that's the problem with LJN. Oh, not LJN. It's the problem with, like... Rare, is that, like, they tried to invent their own genres, and then no one copied them, because why would you want to do that? But anyway, that's it for Beetlejuice. In fact, I think that might be it for the stream, because like I say, I got something in mind for tomorrow, so I might want to rest my voice a little bit for then. But where does Beetlejuice go on the list? Where does it go? Well, you know, we've seen a couple of, like, Rare games already, and they didn't exactly rank great either, so let's go down there. I mean, is it better than Wizards and Warriors Chapter 10? No, it's not. There's more variation, I guess, but yeah, it's, like, they had ideas above their station, and, yeah, that's kind of how it feels. It's just, it's not good. Like, this is not a good game. It's worse than Chapter X, Chapter 10, whatever. I feel like it's also worse than Amazing Spider-Man, because as flawed as that game is, it feels like there's a more solid base to it. You know, it's like Spider-Man going around using his spider powers, the spider sense when he's climbing up the wall and trying not to get hit, and, you know, it's like you can use the spider webs when you're on the skyscraper, even though you're on top of the skyscraper, and you're connecting to a thing above it, but that's, you know, it worked better than this. Like, I would take Amazing Spider-Man over this. It's worse than Game of Harmony. It's worse than Mario and Yoshi. Is it worse than Xenon 2 Mecablast? Yes. Xenon 2 had the shopkeeper. And, you know, while this does have that, you know, make the weird faces level, I don't know, I don't think any of them really compare favourably to that shopkeeper. Like, Snoopy, as slow as it is, made more sense. Zoids, I think I'd be more willing to go back to Zoids. It's worse than Koi Wakakihiki, but it's not worse than Versus Battler. Versus Battler is genuinely awful. Saved slightly by the soundtrack. But yeah, Versus Battler was kind of terrible. This is... Is it better than Versus Battler, though? See, now I'm starting to question, like... Because I feel like it's worse than Castlevania The Adventure, but I'm not entirely sure if it's worse than Versus... Well, no, I'm like, it's worse than... It's worse than Koi Wakakihiki. But is it worse than Versus Battler? And is it worse than Castlevania The Adventure? Yeah, it's... No, thinking about it, it's worse than Castlevania Legends. Or is it? Castlevania Legends had some dick moments in it as well, but I feel like they were... You know, at least you could continue in that game. At least there was, like, that save feature. This doesn't have that. I feel like it's worse than Castellian, because at least Castellian had some really cool graphical effects that this doesn't have. It's... Yeah, it's worse than Go-Go Tank, because at least the ideas I was able to get behind a bit more. But it's not worse than Palamedes. Palamedes is worse than this, because, again, you could just play the NES version and have a much better time with it. Beetlejuice on the NES is a very different game. It's probably still better than this, but at least it's markedly different. Yeah, so I'd say... There we go. A new 112 Beetlejuice on Game Boy. But, do you want to see some of the other cartridges I've got on here that I do plan to play soon enough? So, I won't be able to stream next week because I'm going to be at a game convention, basically. And that's going to be on both days. So I won't have time to do a stream next weekend. But when I come back from that, we will have a look at the Super Hits 2002 40-in-1, which is one that I did show previously on the Game Boy Filler series. Did I show this, actually? Yeah, I did. I definitely showed it, because I think I'd showed the Chess Master or whatever. I don't think I really have a way of doing that, unfortunately. But yeah, we've got that. We've got the US version 68-in-1. This is the one that had Tailgater on it. Gonna have some quite interesting stuff on this. What else was there? This 32-in-1 with Jurassic Park and Tom and Jerry and, you know, various other bits and bobs. There's 55-in-1 that's got, like, Harry Potter and Pocket Music, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I will cover those at a later date. So until then, I will see you later, people. See you.